want to thank you for joining us today here at We want to thank you for joining us today here at... Oh, shut up. I'm going to get it. We want to thank you here for joining us today here. So, moving on to our other... to our next... what the hell is this shit again? Moving on to our next... what? As well as the as well as... so that we... Do you think I could do radio?
You had the face for it.
Oh, God, I hate you.
What's new?
Because I need therapy.
Can you tell the difference in the quality of the video?
Unfortunately, yes, you can see your face clear.
What are you doing?
I am standing because I am getting swamp ass.
Dude, the one cheek sneak doesn't work when everybody's staring at you. Did you not notice I increased the size significantly?
No,
oh my goodness.
I'm also dyslexic, Gert.
What?
The system is down. If you have any feedback, other tips and tricks, or topics you'd like to discuss, please send them to us.
Hey everyone. Welcome.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's new. Alicia
now you have.
It's pretty good.
So I'm super excited. We are on episode 16 of the Planeshifters. Hello, I am your Dungeon Master, 𝙀𝙭𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙧𝙀. I am the host of the Crit Academy Dungeons and Dragons podcast. What the hell is that noise in the background?
Who knows?
We have been running around now for over a year through this campaign, and our heroes have had some twists and some turns. You'll notice that one of our players, Will, is not here today. He is out of the country, having a good time, I hope. Not as good as we're going to have tonight.
Having a good time, a good time.
Yes. Plus 10 cool points to Matt. So, if you don't know, Planeshifters takes place after our heroes had delved into descent into Avernus, and during the attempt to return the city of Elterel back to Toril, the homeworld of the Forgotten Realm setting. It didn't go too well. They had a few oopsies and ended up on the Magic the Gathering plane of Ravnica. Since arriving, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. They first arrived crushing an entire city as they materialized out of nowhere. Of course, this meant that the Ravnicans thought they were under attack. A whole kind of misunderstanding took place. They had to learn the language. You guys have kind of been through a lot. You've made some friends, some enemies along the way. You got 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙚𝙧𝙗𝙬
Uldar Ravengard?
𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙚𝙧𝙗𝙬 Ravengard basically killed because instead of going to help him, you were fooling around with some other stuff. So he ended up dying.
Not me. I wanted to go
as
get
if
him.
we had too many choices to figure out what to do and where to go.
Not my character. He wanted to go save this sorry dude.
So yeah, it's been quite the fun ride. We've had a death. Luckily, it's only been a slight inconvenience. We've had a murder. The characters have resolved that and sort of kind of filled in the blank for now. Now our heroes, as well as the wise council of Elterel, have, with the help of the Izzet Guild, have determined some of the resources they will need to plane shift the entire city back to Ravnica. And so our heroes are on their way to the Izzet Guild to see if they can locate, hopefully using their teleportation equipment, to find the general location of the maze of the Shattered Soul, where it's said to contain the Arclight Phoenix, which has the conduit soul that they need as one of the power source for the plane shift.
Yep.
So, did I miss anything?
Nope. I don't think so.
All right.
I think you nailed it.
I'm
You
glad
nailed
I
it, DM. Consider that I filled in the last blanks of last session today.
And I appreciate that because I was able to read them, and I did listen to the last part, so that was good. All right, so let's go around the table real quick. Tell us who your character is, and then we will get started, and that'll buy me just long enough to get what I'm looking for. So let's start with Ian.
Yeah.
You've been waiting on that one, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm Ian, co-host for Crit Academy, and today I shall be playing the role once again of Merl Bronson, human artificer, back from the dead.
He had a great time. He's kind of mad that he's back, actually.
Quick time! Oh wait, no, never mind.
Austin, you want to go next?
Sure. Hey guys, I'm playing Zorax, a Voidwalker Paladin, and I was the one who committed said murder. And hopefully we don't get bodied by this maze, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh, if I... Never mind. Keep going.
It's your turn now.
Oh, all right then. Hi, my name is Matthew, and I play Garmor, the Circle of the Moon Druid, and hopefully that there will be a time during our travels that I will prepare the necessary spells for us to venture into the maze itself.
Because I'm known for giving you time to do that. Of course. All right. So
Player decision.
go ahead. Sorry,
Nothing. Never mind.
that's the right answer. All right. So we left off, you guys heading to the Izzet Guild. You're able to quickly commandeer some crud. What are those carts that people drag behind them? Not a sedan, but starts with an R. Dang it. I'm gonna Google it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, kinda.
Apparently, there's no internet response. Maybe not. So, basically, a hand-pulled cart that you guys have seen being pulled by numerous different races. You're able to hail a taxi and kind of get a proverbial lift to the Izzet Guild. As you arrive, once again, it's very impressive. You've been here before. Nothing really surprises you anymore. But as you're walking in, you do hear a loud pop in a part of the back section of this massive building. Big puff of smoke and explosion kind of pops out. Quickly, you see all these little constructs, floating around and kind of heading over there, making a little siren noise with flashing lights and everything. A couple goblins shouting, "Oh, we got it! It's no big deal. This is normal. We expected this." Kind of another day in the Izzet Guild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
As you guys head towards the entrance, there at the front desk
I'll
is
give myself a background. Why not? Everyone else has one.
is a nice little I don't know if it's a worker behind the desk, a secretary. It says you notice she stands out a little bit. She looks mostly human, but her skin is blue, her eyes are white, and she has tentacles kind of coming out that are going around and pushing a bunch of different buttons. And you can tell that all the tentacles are kind of different. And you can see where they are almost like they're stitched or welded onto her body. You've seen these sorts before. I think you had asked some of the soldiers. They are Simics. And they, get additional body parts that they need to do what they need. So she's multitasking. And as you approach, she says, yes. It says here, Merl Bronson, it says here that you are deceased. Clearly somebody has made a clerical error, because otherwise you would not be walking around.
It's a long story.
It says here that they send out a team to recover your corpse. Where is said team?
I told them to shove off because I'm not dead.
Really? And they just left like that, huh?
Yes.
Well. It's going to be very difficult to harvest your corpse while your organs while you're still alive.
That's usually how that works.
This is going to be a very inconvenience. We had the special project we were working on. We're calling it the flux golem. A little bit of real body parts mixed in with the mechanics to give it a little more versatility, but clearly that's going to have to wait unless you're willing to go forward with the procedure. Do we have your consent?
Do you have a spell prepped to regrow set organs?
Oh, what? Oh, gosh, no, we can't afford that.
Well, then no.
That's why it's in the contract. And she pulls up this digital scrolling text, and it highlights the column 36B, section 4, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that. And it talks about how all your body property is theirs upon death. Doesn't say anything about actually remaining dead. So once again, I ask, would you be willing to allow us to continue with our experiments on your behalf?
Well, the problem though is if you conduct the experiment, you can't then conduct the experiment I was hired for, which, well, quite frankly, planes hopping is kind of important.
Oh, yeah, I can see why you would think that. No, this is definitely, she's going scrolling. This definitely takes more priority. This could be the future, push the future of the Izzet Guild's technology to a whole new level. So are you sure you won't reconsider?
Don't you guys have plenty of corpses?
Well,
yes, but it's hard to find a good intelligent one.
Well, unfortunately, with my organs, I'm rather attached to them. So
yeah, and the brain and resources is just super reliable comparatively to our more our regular people. They're just not smart. So we've learned that over the years that a higher intelligence is definitely required to fully automate the flux golem. But I guess we'll work again. You hear another explosion. See, and that's why we need higher intelligence.
Agreed.
Anyway, so welcome back. I guess I'll be...
Garmor leans over to Merl and says, I thought you were a supervisor.
Okay. Oh, I am. I think.
Granted, a once dead supervisor, which causes some complications apparently.
Oh, no, don't worry. We haven't backfilled his position yet. He, since he has returned on his own 2 legs, it should not be a problem. I just need him to sign off here, and she pushes like this holographic thing towards you, and it floats towards you, and it basically says, in no uncertain terms, do you want your old position back?
Let me read this. I know better than sign documents without reading it first.
You kind of pull out your little scope and stuff, and you see there's some really, really fine print that says, do not resuscitate if dead. It's got a little checkbox next to it. It's already checked.
I unchecked that box.
Oh, yeah, you swipe it away. And she says, you're a smart one, that's for sure.
That's why they hired him.
Didn't work out for it. So,
I once outlawed a devil on their own contract after I signed it. So yeah.
Well, that's very, very impressive. What can I do for you today? Unfortunately, I think that it seems you are missing a member of your team.
He's around.
Correct.
Just a question of where is he?
Okay, so for the audience and you guys, Echo did say he had one thing to do before he would meet up with you later. So
yeah.
I really should write down exactly.
Probably gallivanting with Ian's other character, Joram,
who has made it his goal to troll the wizard.
All right. Well, is there anything I can help you with today, Supervisor Bronson?
Well, first off, I got all this paperwork I need to resubmit. And
oh, wonderful. You've already got it signed? Wow, you just really are a prime specimen. And you see her hands going all different directions, pushing stuff. You see it go in this one that looks awful like a trash can. As it reaches in, it pulls out an ID of yours out of this little trash can and moves it out of experiments folder and puts it back into employed. It says, all right, well, all that is done. Is there anything that I can help you with today?
Yes, I believe I had to go student evaluation to select assistants. And as I believe to the guys who picked me up, I gave them a shopping list, if you will, to submit to the Izzet League for what's the word I'm looking for? Acquisition for my experiment.
Yes.
Acquisition.
We have received the acquisition, the request form, the acquisition forms, and they are in process right now.
Excellent.
And I think that that's something we are going to have to work with some of the other guilds to get, but I'm certain that we can get it.
Of course.
So you see her she's, her fingers are dancing around. She says, is there anything else for the day?
And I believe I had to go over the evaluation forms to select assistants.
Oh, yes. Those forms have been are on your desk in your loft. So feel free to find them there, or I can pull up the digital prints here if you'd like.
Excellent. And I believe I had to also, I believe that there's one dwarf that looked pretty good who was fireproof. He's
yes. I see.
he's
it
afraid of
here.
water, so.
So I'm looking at this, and it looks like you're looking for. Oh, hang on, I gotta change something. Olag. It seems you're looking for 𝙀𝙭𝙥𝙚𝙧𝙾.
Excellent.
She's a really nice round faced dwarf. I think you'll like her.
Excellent.
She's a bit skittish around water though, so just be mindful of that.
What was the last name again?
𝙀𝙭𝙦𝙀𝙧𝙀𝙀𝙀. Horkadorder? I don't know. Random generators.
Horkadorter.
What can I say? Horkadot. Let's go with that. Horkadork. Horkadot.
Horkadot.
I feel like this is your comeback from me saying Hupperduke in the last episode.
Certainly is not, but I like the way your brain thinks. Yeah, that's a. All right. Anyways, it's like that's funny. So we're just gonna call her Oleg. And the other one was a young. Oh no, I'm sorry. It looks like you only. There's a few other submissions. Both are below the criteria you wanted. There's one of the other three that actually met the criteria. Unfortunately, she happened to be walking through the transporter when it was activated, and what was once one is now twine. So the only other option you're really going to have is the elf, Misery. Not to be confused with Misery, but that's the way she thinks. She just never shuts up. You'll see that on her scorecard. It's horrible. Her 180 word character limit does not exceed. She's got 3 pages. She just overly complicates things. Yeah. Well, for a 180 character limit, that's a lot. Obviously, she can't follow instructions very well. So those are the 2 candidates that we've narrowed down for you based on your requests. If you'd like to meet them, I can send them to your loft.
Excellent.
All right. Is there anything I can help you gents with?
No.
No.
I'm just a glorified bodyguard today.
Well, wonderful. You're probably going to need it. There's been a lot of accidents recently, so just be mindful.
Well, the scale just playback has to go around, so.
All right, so
I just see souls like flicker because they're just like they die, and then someone's like, no, we need him. I'm just like, so weird.
All right, so you guys make it down the hallway, and once again, as you're in the Izzet Guild, there is just pipes everywhere, electrical conduits going, beeping, whirring noises throughout this whole entire building. Occasionally, the area rumbles. You make it up to the floor where your loft is, and of course, your pal Merl swipes his card, and it beeps, and then it opens up, and you hear, "Welcome back. I hope your death wasn't too painful."
Oh, it was excruciating.
Oh, well, that's so horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Welcome back. If there's anything you need, just ask.
Well, don't mind if I do.
All right, so as you guys enter in, it looks like the room's for the most part not been disturbed. You got it looks like the only thing that's been done is a little bit of cleaning and maintenance. Other than that, this place is perfect for priming for strategizing. Is there anything you guys want to do before the support assistants get here?
Why didn't we request a teleporter to get to the maze?
Isn't that why we're here? Yeah.
I asked if you needed anything.
I assumed that
I think
Merle's
you're
authority
asking
would
him,
help.
Merle, right?
Yeah. Garma was asking Merle. I should have said that specifically. My apologies.
I was making it clear that, hey, I gave the option, but I wasn't going to tell you what to do.
Yeah. Why didn't you utilize your authority to request a teleportation to the maze?
It's on the to-do list.
Time is of the essence here. The Emerald Claw could have the conduit by now.
Zorax is just standing at the door. He's just
All
like, I hope I don't die here.
All right. Now, one moment. I'm just going to leave behind some written instructions here for my upcoming assistants and what their expectations are, and then we're going to use a teleporter. Sound good? Cool.
Perfect.
What are the instructions you're leaving? So you're not going to wait for them. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
What is your commands, your instructions?
Effectively, short version to tell them what my experience are intended to do, what the expectations are, and for them to get to know each other. If I'm going to give a condensed version of it.
Okay. Are you super strict in a penchant for detail?
Yes.
One of these is certainly not going to meet your requirements entirely. Close, but no cigar. All right, so I wrote that down. Let me go ahead and do a roll on my thing here and see how that's going to go down so I don't forget about it later.
Yeah.
Oh, that was weird.
Oh, and also to have them prepare some of their samples of their previous works.
Okay, then. All right. I got all that done. Write that down.
He's been back from the den. He's already doing an administrative work.
Right?
He's like, God damn it, I can't take a day off here.
Are you kidding? For him, it's like Christmas.
I have extra hands to do things. Perfect.
That
Why do you think I
thrumming,
took a spell Unseen Servant?
that thrumming appears in your head, and you hear, Father, there are several souls that are about to extinguish on the 18th floor here.
Well, there's nothing we can do about them. They stake their lives here every day.
As you say.
And my current objective is to make sure that we can keep these two alive. That is the idea here.
Well,
Don't
okay,
have
then.
time to save the world. Can barely save our own.
That's true. So after you take down some instructions, you make your way to the teleporter pads, and there are several guards on duty that are kind of watching over the area. The one, probably 1/3 of them are now sealed off with "Do not use" signs. One's card in black, and you can see the faint outlines of what looks like a short, stocky figure. And
That's why I picked a dwarf.
there's a big white bag blocking one from whatever it messes behind that.
Oh no.
You walk up, and there's a nice little. I forgot to send you guys this link. There's the Bardley link if you want the music.
Which I do not hear.
You have to open it.
Music.
Anyways, so dang, I lost my train of thought trying to do something. So as you get there, a tall, slender, surprisingly slender elephant person is there, with just these ginormous bifocals on this Loxodon. But she's got a nice, a smaller frame considering the size of Loxodon. I mean, she's still kind of plump, but compared to some of the monstrous ones you've seen, she's standing there. She says, with her trunk just kind of dangling, "Yes, what can I do for you today?"
Yes, we need to make use of one of the teleporters to make it to the Maze of the Shattered Souls to acquire equipment.
Do you have an address?
Yeah.
Is there a GPS or anything around? Some Ravnican version of a GPS, some map
So
that we can point at.
as she asks this, you don't really know where this is at. So
Yeah.
she goes, well, if you don't know, there's a location device over there. You can use the directory. She
Excellent.
points over, and there's basically this kind of computer that just kind of extends out from the wall, but it's attached to the wall, if that makes sense. It's basically just a screen and a keyboard, right? Except it's all like touch screen and stuff. It's not like actual buttons.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So she says, you can go over there. Let me know where you decide.
Okay.
So as you're going through, you're kind of figuring this all out, and you're really kind of struggling a little bit. You're not seeing anything called the Maze of Shattered Souls at all. Judging, go ahead and give me a straight intelligence check.
Straight intelligence.
All of
Okay.
us?
No, just the guy working the computer.
All right. That's going to be a 16.
All right. So as you're looking at it, you kind of got a description of where it approximately might be. And the closest thing you can point to is a place called Fester Holt. Unfortunately, it's not exactly as close as to the labyrinth as you would like. It puts you around 50 miles away. But you think you might be able to coordinate the estimate the coordinates. So you have a choice here. You can go right to Fester Holt and make sure you're there, or you can try to triangulate based on the description where you think it might be to get you a little closer than 50 miles. Of course, you could be wrong.
If I recall, Merl, I believe that information provided to us by Spymaster Visanya, the mountain where the maze is on top of has a perpetual storm in the area.
Well, that probably does help narrow things down a little bit.
It does. So now you know that it is approximately 42 miles due southwest of Festering Holt. Much more specific than 50 miles. In fact, you can see the area on the in my mind. I'm envisioning one of those stupid maps that you see at when you go to the mall, right? It's like it kind of tells you where everything's at, but it's like not super precise.
Yeah.
So you have a general idea. What you do notice is Fester Holt is the nearest large town, but there are a few smaller towns that appear to be in that area based on the description given to you by the Spymaster. So you could theoretically get directly to the entrance, or you could go to a closer town. But either way is up to you. You have the confidence that you can get there based on the triangulation program that you ran.
I mean, if we choose
one of you at a time.
One at a time, guys. Come on.
I'll admit, part of me wants to drop us right on the mountain, but the thing is, we don't know where the entrance to the dungeon is in the mountain, where to find it. So it may not be a bad idea to drop ourselves near the village here, ask the locals for some information, and go from there.
If I recall, this region is what? The cult territory?
Mm-hmm. Rakdos.
Oh boy.
At least some adventurers were hired by Rakdos to dive in here.
Yeah, pretty much. But wait, didn't I hear somewhere that the maze was constructed by the Syndicate? That doesn't make sense.
Does anything here make any sense?
No, This world does not make much sense.
I think the
some
better
of us can wield magic and others can't.
I think the better description is it's in Rakdos territory.
Yep.
All right. Well, I have an idea that may make things easier, but we would have to find a safe spot to do it, and I can use one more use of casting Windwalk to fly us there pretty easily.
Always need to figure out where to teleport. Village
Yeah.
or the mountain itself. What's your guys' vote?
I think the safest bet would be the village and then go from there.
I
you're
vote
going-
to teleport.
Well,
We're
we're gonna
bit-
use the teleport.
Well, I mean
strictly
the not regular place, the Fester's Hold, the other one,
the village.
The
Just a small
town?
village.
the small village.
Yeah. So not a big city, but not the big city that's nearby, but like a smaller village.
We'll also likely find less resistance there,
Pretty.
and because we're going to be outsiders, and we're probably going to be noticeable outsiders very quickly.
Father,
don't
you're so
say.
wise.
This
Knowing
is
that you're
true.
outside when you're outside the city, that is just clever. I'm so proud of you.
If Gomar was hearing that, he'd be cringe right now.
I see you've taken after my sass.
I don't know whatever you mean, Father.
Oh, fading ignorance.
She has been learning. Perfect.
It's so weird to remember when I first created her, she only said bits and pieces, but now she's having
Mhm.
fuller, taking on part of your persona and having a little more
Right.
conversation.
She's
Hopefully
Although-
I don't
taking
push
after
it too quick.
Oh, the village. You said it's what? 50 miles away from the mountain.
Yep, approximately.
Well, the village is 42 miles south
Right.
west or east, and Festerhold, the city, is 50 miles
It's 50
away.
miles
No-
for sure.
I apologize. That's confusion there. So that was my fault. So originally I said the Festerholt was approximately 50 miles. With the information you gleaned from the Spymaster, you placed it exactly 42 miles. So it's no
Okay.
longer a general, it's specific. And there are two towns partway between Festerhold and the location you're going. Probably
Gotcha.
about 10 miles out from the area. Once again, they're just dots on a map. They're not really big enough to be named or anything.
Mhm.
There might be something to be said about going to the closest town at least.
It'll cut down on time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's aim for that. Let's try to aim for the closest town then.
All right.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we can always just walk towards the storm.
Yeah, you'll be close enough to be able to see it at that point.
Well, the problem isn't the storm per se or finding it.
Excuse me.
The problem is finding the maze.
Yeah. Well, isn't the Phoenix in the center of the storm?
Is
I
it?
don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't
I'm gonna be
remember
honest.
either.
That was about a month ago.
I think the perpetual storm was the reason why the Phoenix took nesting there.
Yes.
Fuck. So it's not creating the
So
storm.
it's not
it just
creating
likes the
it,
storm.
yeah.
But it could
Gotcha.
amplify. But there's a possibility that it could amplify. But I don't know a thing about Arclight Phoenixes. Never even, let alone heard anything about them.
I
Well,
just know
as
it's a
soon as
giant
this,
bird and I gotta kill it. Well, I
No.
have to keep it alive, actually.
Well, let's see if this search function here allows us to look up anything on Arclight Phoenix quickly.
All right, and he pats you on the back a little roughly, and he grants you guidance.
Just, you got this. He just slaps
Go
you
ahead,
on the
give me a
back.
roll.
Alrighty.
What sort of roll is this?
This is knowledge arcana, probably.
The thing I'm good at. All right. So that's going to be 30 on the nose.
30? I didn't know we could hit that high yet. I guess we're
Oh,
level 15.
Oh, my Arcana kind of It's plus 12.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. So as you're keyboarding away and doing the using the powerful search and Fuggle,
Fuggle.
get it, fake Google, Fuggle.
Yep.
Oh.
All right. So you actually do find a little bit of information on it. It is pretty scarce because the creature itself is unique, and but according to the readings, you find that an Arclight Phoenix is said to be the byproduct of a lightning strike on an Aviary, tied to a mix or during a mishap with a translocation device. So whether this is on purpose or not, it's unclear. There is some likelihood that the Izzet is involved, but they have not claimed creating such a thing. But whatever its origin, the Arclight Phoenix is a bird of prey formed entirely of electrical energy, or so they say. They do say that at its core is a condensed energy that draws in lightning from the environment around it, which now makes sense why it's drawn to a mountain where there is a storm, a perpetual lightning storm.
Yeah. Man, almost makes me wish I could overnight rest and prepare absorb elements.
I'm always prepared with absorb elements.
You might need it.
I'm well aware, unfortunately. Sounds like I'm
So-
going to be taking a lot of electricity to the face.
Yeah, my air elemental form is resistant, but not fully immune to it. So
No, resistance gets you a good ways.
Yep.
Also,
I
do
want-
we know how to extract this thing?
nope.
Do we have any idea?
We just have to keep it alive as we harvest the core.
Right,
Sounds
but
dangerous.
that seems to be the problem. How do we get the core out? Bare hands, just reach
seems like
in
you're
and
in a
rip
great
it?
place to find that out.
Hence
Honestly,
why I
I
was looking
thought
it up
you
before
guys-
we left.
I thought you guys were gonna like venture off without it, but that's why he's googling it right now, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Foogling it.
Alternatively, we could let one of the bad guys do it, let them do all the legwork, kill them, take it.
We'd have to track them first, see if they're there.
Oh, we'll just stake it out. There's no need to do that part. We let them fight the damn thing.
I do have a spell that could. I do have a few spells that can help us hide for a little bit. Let them pass if we got there before them.
I call this third partying.
What happens if they don't know how to extract it and you haven't prepared any way to do so?
Then we kill them and we figure it out, like everything else.
Although that's
Do you
a good
remember
point.
who's racing you there?
Yeah.
Not particularly. Is
Yeah,
it the... Who is it?
The
Another
Emerald
group of-
Claw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't that the...
Do you know who they work for? I don't know if I
The
revealed
Cult
that
of
information.
Rakdos.
Yes. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I couldn't remember if I revealed that or not. Yes.
You did via Visanya.
Alright, well, I guess while we're here, I want to figure out how to do that part.
Yeah.
Because
So, in addition,
I'm good with a
to-
sword, not good with tools.
In addition, while they're kind of chit chatting back and forth, you're continuing your foogling there, Merl, and you do learn a few interesting traits of the creature because it is made almost entirely of lightning. It is obviously immune to lightning.
Yep.
But most importantly, it makes it difficult to be affected by weaknesses of the flesh. Additionally, it says that nobody has ever actually seen one land before. There's no clear indication of why.
That's an issue.
Wow. Yeah. So to be mindful.
Great.
Yeah, that'd be important. Yeah.
And then at the very bottom, you do read some text from a single source that says, if the transformation was successful,
if the transformation was successful, then by all means, by all logic, then the Arclight Phoenix should carry over the nature of the Phoenix, thus, upon death, leaving an egg left in the ashes, or in this case, the sparks, that could potentially grow into its own Arclight Phoenix. Of course, this is all speculation, as I have not caught one alive before.
Minor
Or
detail.
dead.
Minor detail.
Minor detail? Okay. All right. So.
Well, this thing's. Wish we had just like a metal sphere to contain all that energy in. Like
Yeah,
a
if only you
Pokeball.
hadn't given up that pike of yours.
just stab it with a pike and I just get electrocuted until it's all in there. I'm like, guys, help me! Oh, it's funny.
So, if you're going to look for a way to capture this thing, then you're in the right location. But
Yep.
also, the longer you spend here, the more likely it is that the cult of Rakdos may succeed. Or not. You don't know. Just keep that
Right.
in mind.
Right, but the catch, of course, is we don't do enough prep time either. We won't succeed either.
You're not wrong. Thus, you guys are in a bit of a conundrum.
Alrighty.
So I
Well,
guess
we
what is the
can't-
next steps?
We can't succeed at all if we don't know how to do it ourselves, right? Because then we might be doing a wasted trip. But should we get there after we know how and we realize that it's not there anymore, that means someone had acquired it, and we probably know how to kill the guys who acquired it much better than trying to harvest something alive.
Probably.
Unless they themselves teleported back to their base of operations.
Then we killed him at their
I
base
see
of
that,
operations.
DM. I see
Yeah.
that.
And it's assuming if those numbskulls managed to figure out how to extract it in the first place.
Well,
Fair.
at that point, we have to make a consideration. Fight an entire guild house and its guild master for an Arclight Phoenix, or fight a Planeswalker.
I don't think
I'm
it's
not
necessary.
really comfortable with either or, personally, because it's either we fight 5,000 of one thing, or we fight one that's worth 5,000 of one thing.
Minor detail.
Yep.
Minor detail.
So I say we just try and figure this thing out, and then we'll go from there. We gotta learn. We gotta read up on how to extract this thing,
Yep.
or else we can't do
Alright.
any of it anyway. Then we're just hoping they know how to do it.
Yeah, we're probably doomed if we do that.
So why hasn't it landed? Is there a reason why?
It just probably gets absorbed in the storm, or does it absorbs the storm? Probably just flies eternally. I don't know. I'm just some dude with a sword. I worked as a guard for a living.
And well, it also sounds like that there's just a lot of unknowns about an Arclight Phoenix in the first place, given it be an artificial creature.
Well, I've had some storms in the woods where I grew up, and
Hey!
sometimes the tallest trees in a heavy storm tend to get struck by powerful lightning. Hence, and I guess they were attracted because they was so high. Although there was this one character who I saw from a distance in a nearby town try to, create a very high watchtower made of metal, and a storm came and the whole thing came crashing down.
Couldn't we also ask the guildmaster here, considering they figured out a way to store an entire sentient evil being inside a gem?
Are you asking me or are you talking to them?
I'm talking to them.
Well, I don't have the guildmaster here in speed dial now, do I?
Is she a guild master? I thought she was in charge of the metallurgy labs.
I think he's talking about Niv Mizzet, the actual Izzet Guildmaster, right?
The person whoever helped us out in extracting the evil ship from the sword.
She's
That
not the Guildmaster. She's just a
Oh.
leader here at the guild.
Well, then she seemed competent enough to ask.
And she's the one that we gave the Heart of the Emerald Dragon to for her Mecha Dragon.
So I feel like, might work another thing out here.
And I gave her the Stone of Conjure Earth Elemental. to pay our debts for sucking that energy from your sword, Zorax.
Well, it's better than having it in there still now, isn't it?
I really
That is why
appreciate
some
that,
of
to
us
be
are alive.
honest.
Even my sword is thankful.
I wouldn't be here without that.
I did
Thank you
that
so
to keep
much.
us out of debt with the league.
You wouldn't be saying that to my daughter if you could hear her.
Why is he so rude, Father?
Angsty is probably a good word, honey.
Rude sounds right too, isn't it?
Perhaps.
Oh, what is that word you used, Father?
Angsty?
A-hole?
Oh, that's a classic word. But yes,
Okay.
one you can definitely use in your dictionary.
So he is an asshole.
So is your father, but yes.
So is it okay to be an asshole?
No. Sometimes. It depends.
What does it depend on, Father?
You'll know when you're older.
Why do I have to wait then, Father?
Because you'll know more by then.
Well, I'll always know more the next day. But if you tell me sooner, I'll know now and not later.
I don't know where you stand on things.
I'm a sword, Father. I don't stand. That's so silly.
Fucking hell. Wait till
Are
you
you
meet
not
your
going
mother.
to tell me? That's so rude to keep things from me, Father.
Honey, sometimes I just don't know the answer.
Oh. Well,
If I did, I would probably not be hunting down a phoenix in a mountain.
that makes sense.
I'm glad she took that one. So, are we going to talk to whomever that was? Guys?
That was quite a ways back in the notes. Let me check.
Yeah, I was like,
looking
I
for
don't
the
know who
name.
they are anymore.
I'm looking for the name. I've been trying to. That's why I was talking at the same time, trying to buy myself some time, but I haven't found it yet. Oh man,
We're back.
I cannot believe how many notes we have. Like you've done a phenomenal job, Matt. Just so I want you to know that.
I do want to. What Control F is for?
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm looking for.
Yep. And for the record, Matt has taken, let's see here, 48 pages of notes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's impressive. At font 11, jeez.
An Arial.
Okay, I found the lab. It's in session 7. Jeez, that was so long ago.
Right.
9 sessions ago.
Merl's a supervisor. Oh, then you guys fought the giant dragon. Man, I should be better organized, but I didn't know you'd go to this person. I should have thought of that, and I didn't. Ugh.
And as the play by play.
DMing, spinning a lot of plates. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Aelin?
Nuri.
Oh, who's Aelin then? Oh, no, that's someone else. You're right.
Her name's Nuri. Okay, there you go. You want to go talk
Nuri?
to Nuri?
Cool.
She is currently working on a private project with the inspiration of Niv Izzet. It's Niv Mizzet, I think. Niv Mizzet? Anyways, yes. So that's who you're going to speak with. So are you going to go talk to her?
I'll send the
I'm trying to find that information.
You know what? We can try it just to speed things up a little bit.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys meander around the area for a little while. And you head back to the area where you restore or cleansed the blade. And you come in and there's this surprising amount of work has been done. The eyes of this giant Niv Mizzet are glowing like this emerald green, very much like the color of
Ursint. Her name was Ursint.
Then who the hell is this Nuri person?
I think she's like a like reports directly to the guildmaster, I guess. I think she was the client to get the Emerald Dragon Heart or crystal.
Oh,
Who's the
for
new
her.
name?
Okay, I see. Wow. It says after Gamma delivers the jewel to Norwell, she mentions that the jewel itself is to serve as the heart of the Mecha Dragon project she is currently working on.
Yeah, the information is in session 6.
What the hell is going on? It's 8. Oh, I'm in 8 right now. What's her name?
Yeah,
I'll go with
Zorax
you.
has the Shadow Razor examined by Ursent.
Ursent. Okay.
Says there's an ethereal tether. So yeah, Ursent.
Highlight her name. I'm gonna click comment then. All right. Anyway, so as you guys are making your way around, you come back and you see this giant mecha head, just kind of its eyes flashing, and you can see energy going up through its throat, and then its mouth glowing. All these cool things. You can hear curses and all these sorts of things coming from the inside of it. You hear clanging of steel and metal on metal, and son of a, all this back and forth. And she's just kind of tossing around in there for a little while. Are you guys after about 15 minutes? She still doesn't come out, as you guys are just kind of sitting there.
Greetings.
What? Who is that? I don't
Merl.
have time. I'm busy. I don't care. Get out of here.
Yep.
I don't remember what voice I got so long ago.
Not even if something involving an Arclight Phoenix.
Her head pops out. What?
Yeah.
Oh my, yes. I'll be right out. And you see this like complex set of like stairs as she drops like a cube, and it unfolds into this big giant set of stairs, and then she starts scrambling out of it. I'm envisioning like Gadget from
Rescue Rangers.
yeah, Rescue Rangers. She's got all the little gizmo stuff on, she's all filthy and stuff. She says, an Arclight Phoenix, you say, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's super exciting and intriguing. What can I do for you?
Well, short version, we got to track one down, and we need to extract its spark, which apparently needs to be done while it's still alive. And therefore, we need the tools to do it, and we figured you're the expert.
I don't believe they have a spark. I think that's a planeswalker.
Wait,
You're
that's
clearly
right.
confused.
Got my nose mixed up.
I believe it was known as an Arclight Conduit.
Yes, that.
Oh, yes. Mighty dangerous. Mighty dangerous indeed. We tried to capture the one some time ago. I don't know, about 60 years ago. I tried to capture one of those things, and it fried my entire crew.
Yeah, well, we need to harvest this core. So,
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to go with you.
well, I'm not asking you to come with. We just need either tools or the expertise or knowledge to do so we can do it ourselves.
Wow. So you want to contain the conduit?
Yes.
All of its energy. Oh man, that's gonna be costly. You're gonna need a container made of mithril.
And that just don't grow on trees.
No, it doesn't. But you know what? I can make a deal with you. I think I can help you. She says, according to one of my young researchers, he believed that the Arc Phoenix core body was that of a phoenix, and that if it is slain, it will leave behind an egg. So I'll tell you what. I have a device, a 𝙀𝙭𝙧𝙖𝙧𝙮 made of mithril that comes apart, that you may be able to seal it inside of.
All right.
Problem is, in order to do that, it has to be alive. So somebody is going to have to be inside its frame while they're trying to seal it, and will probably die in the process.
We'll see about
that's
that.
a lot of energy. But if you can encapsulate it with the mithril 𝙀𝙭𝙧𝙖𝙧𝙗, I am certain that you will succeed in capturing it and slaying the beast simultaneously.
So you're
without its
saying
core.
someone needs to stand inside the Arclight Phoenix
Well,
with this device?
Well, yes, of course, because if you need the conduit to be functional, it needs to be captured while the creature still has life in it. Think of it as being powered by the soul. If you kill it, the soul extinguishes and the power in the conduit is gone. which is a problem.
Right. The only thing I'm confused on exactly is the actual mechanics of like the act of doing it. So do we need to now? Do we just like take the dodecahedron and we just kind of like? I'm assuming we don't just throw it at. I'm assuming
Have you
we have
ever
to hold
used
on
a
to it.
suitcase?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Okay.
You just over top of it.
Okay.
Now, it sounds easy, but the amount of force coming off of that is going to be quite a bit of strength is going to be needed to close it. With the opposing polarities, it's going to be like trying to crush a boulder the size of, a small house.
Well,
So-
good news.
Thorax is thinking to himself, could I do that?
Well, good news. I at least upgraded my gauntlets of ogre strength into a belt of giant strength. So, yeah.
Well, that's definitely good. You would, of course, have to be, while you're inside of it, the electricity is probably going to be rushing through your body. I would highly, unless you could ground the creature somehow. Then
That's
that might
what I was going
reduce
to
it.
ask. Why doesn't, according to Merl's information gathering, it doesn't seem to land? Why?
Oh, of course not, because then it would be grounded.
It makes
Literally.
sense. But then
And
if we accidentally grounded the creature, then wouldn't the creature cease to exist if it's just made of just electricity itself?
I don't think it would dissipate right away. I definitely think that it would start dissipating. Probably be weakened to some extent, but I don't think it would be killed right away. And
Is
that
there
would
a way-
certainly make it weak enough that you would have less resistance. Now, don't get me wrong. The amount of force is just nearly astronomical that it's going to take. But
Is there a way to ground it?
I honestly, if I had that answer, I would tell you. Getting it to the ground is not something that's going to be easy. From what I understand, they never land, and they can't be captured because they're pure energy. So that is certainly a challenge.
Okay. I'm gonna to pitch a semi-dumb solution. Well, if we kill it, so it becomes an egg, and we just take that.
Well, then you wouldn't have the conduit, would you?
Then we would
Not
have
right
to wait
away.
for the egg to hatch, wouldn't we? And then hope that it
Well, okay, I can see
spawns.
where you go. So I guess it depends on how much power you need from the conduit, because you would need something. Depending on how much power you need, determines the size of the older the
Right.
creature, the larger its conduit.
As much
Right.
power as it can provide.
So
And
then we
so
would need it
while
as an
you-
adult then.
Yeah, as you're saying, you would be able to do that, and that's perfectly feasible. Whether it would have enough power to do what you seek, which, if I'm able to calculate correctly, is to try to return yourself to your own world, then I'm not so sure.
They're probably
I
not.
don't know. We can only speculate, as we don't have any actual data to support that decision. It's all
Right.
purely theoretical and speculative at the moment.
He points to. Does Garmore see any raw metallurgy materials that such as he doesn't know what Mizium looks like, but he would spit out loud, what if we utilize some sort of the metal that you've used to act as a grounding agent? What is the metal called? Mizium?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you
That's
saying
an
like a metal rod?
Yeah.
So it gets like attracted to it?
like a lightning rod.
Well, from where we come from, we don't have those, so
We do now.
we do now. But then it also begs the question, wouldn't someone have already thought of that and have tried?
Oh, that is most certainly true. But doesn't mean they were able to. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I guess we don't know. We don't have enough evidence or data. So you certainly will be taking a risk going in blind. But what's the worst that can happen? You're gonna die. And she looks
Again.
over at Merl and doesn't seem to be that much of an inconvenience for you.
Just the one time at least.
I see.
News travels fast.
Yes. So, okay. So, I definitely, like I said, I'm willing to lend you my 𝙀𝙭 dodecahedron. That'll help you capture it, the conduit inside, of course, at the risk of somebody. We know that you're going to likely have to find a way to ground it, which will be very difficult because it's not going to do that itself. So you need some sort of device. I definitely think the 𝙀is a good idea, but I don't know. You don't know. How would you throw it at it, and then you would have to still pin it into the ground with the 𝙀into it to ground it. So it would still have to be close enough to the ground before you even use the 𝙀spear or 𝙀rod.
Couldn't we have like 2 rods, one to like put into the ground, the other almost like as a harpoon, and then they're connected, and you just throw it at it? But then that would require a lot of 𝙀𝙀, wouldn't it?
She looks at you and she says, "That's interesting." She turns around, she taps on her wrist, and an explosion of light appears around you, and you see these three-dimensional holograms. And she kind of very much Iron Man like grabs onto one, shapes it into like a general bird. She calls
Mhm.
up, "Give me the incarnation of the last known Arc Phoenix to be seen. Would you please do that for me, Jasper?" And of course, you hear this robotic like voice kind of respond, and you see a Arc Phoenix, and then she gives like a little tiny image of people standing and two large spears that are. She says, what if we chained two 𝙀𝙀 spears together? Could we treat them as a sort of noose? Launch it over top, pin one to the ground so it's grounded. Launch the one over top it, as you're suggesting. I forgot your character's name. How the hell did I forget
It's
your character?
Zorax, but that's okay.
Zorax. As you're suggesting, Zorax, and because it's grounded, it may create a physical barrier. And as the other one comes up over top of it and lands down, you could ground both sides and slowly drag it down.
Yeah.
Whew, that might work, but that's a costly experiment.
I was gonna say,
What is there any substance or other forms of magic that the Phoenix is attracted to? I mean, obviously they're for the storms.
Intense electrical energies. So
Of course.
I would imagine if you could even cast a spell at a high enough level, you might be able to draw it. But I don't. Once again, we don't have enough data. That would just be speculative in theory.
I spoke of this with Rhea and Visanya back at Elterel about this. I have the capability to prepare a spell that could create to manipulate the weather, but with the perpetual storm at the Phoenix's nesting grounds, I don't think it would be enough.
Yeah.
That is certainly an interesting. If you can manipulate the weather, could you dampen the storm that's there?
that's what I was thinking. If we dampened the storm, though, would that inherently make the Phoenix weaker because it's not receiving as much of the energy as it would like?
Or worst case scenario, it would just up and disappear afterward.
No, I guess it could run. Yeah, you're right.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check, Mr. Bronson.
Okay, this is going to be a 30 again.
So as they're kind of spitballing ideas and your brain starts to go into overtime, you start to see these three-dimensional representations in your mind of the different theories that could happen and the way they could unfold. And you believe that both theories are sound. The most likely to succeed would be the 𝙀𝙀 noose, but that'll also be the most costly.
Yeah.
But the weakening of the storm might be able to drive away, or at the very least weaken the creature. Now, the problem with that is you still don't have control of the creature. So how would you draw in close enough to ground it if you didn't have the investment of the Mizium? Now, ideally, you could try both, and you see that kind of flittering in your head, but the amount of you're only going to get one shot. So the odds that you'll be able to successfully do both are very slim.
Yeah.
But both those strategies in your mind, either one might work, but definitely the Mizium news presented by the discussion from Zorax and what's her name again?
Percent.
Percent.
Ursent.
Yep.
Um,
Percent.
Seems to be the most likely to succeed, even if it is at a cost.
Yep. And well, at the very least, with the control weather spell, we have the resources to do that now, at the very least. So
Do you have all the material components for that?
that's more of a Matt question.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was asking.
Wait, what?
Control weather, does that have any special material requirements?
Let me check real quick.
Nothing with a cost, so you're fine.
Oh, you just looked it up, you son of a gun.
I figured it was just quicker for me, to do it. But there is a bit of it does have a long casting time, and it does
10 minutes.
require concentration.
Yeah.
So if you get into a battle, it's very possible that it'll break. But
Yeah, 'cause
that's the risk
a
that you
long
take.
time.
Well, we're talking to gain control weather, right?
Yes, control weather is the one we're talking about, right?
Which
Yeah.
is an 8th level spell.
Right.
I have access to 8th level spells.
All right.
Yep.
And it does have a duration of 8 hours.
Yep. Once again, I think the duration and the casting time aren't the problem. It's going to be the concentration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times Zorax can cast, or not Zorax, Garmor can cast that.
Yep.
I can only cast that once per day.
Yep. And
Yeah.
Zorax, remind me, do you have a way to fly?
I can teleport. It's pretty damn close.
Not the same.
I know, but it's close.
Why not just give him
Enough.
your darn boots, Merl?
He can
Never
fly
mind.
for a second when he teleports, and then he falls to the ground.
I can teleport real far, so if it really did come to it, I could probably stab one spear in the ground, take the other, teleport with it, and then it'll likely whip all the way around. I don't know how teleportation works while I'm holding
And
something,
nay-nay.
admittedly. And then I will wrap it around, and I'm hopefully good from there.
Yep. And I do have the spell, if I prep it, protection from energy, which is also a concentration. But a creature of my choice gains resistance to one damage type of fire, cold, acid, lightning, or thunder. I think we're actually going to go with lightning for that one.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
have
good
absorb
call.
elements prepared, so I mean, I can take some heat.
Which is a reaction, but it doesn't last an
Yeah.
hour, like protection from energy.
That's true. That's true. One of those is the first level, the other is something probably much higher,
Third.
which is something that I can't learn as well, so there's also that. To my knowledge, anyway.
Well, this conversation is absolutely just engaging. You notice that she's been taking notes the whole time on this discussion. She's like, might I make a recommendation?
Yes.
You're pretty much going to be boned either way.
True.
So, but see if I'm sure the guild's willing to lend you the Mizium. So I think that you should try to do both scenarios. Your little wind blower over there can try to weaken the storm, while the big buff one with the magic more magic sword of death can try to ground it while you weaken it. The problem that I think you guys are going to run into is you're going to have to weaken it enough that the Mizium dodecahedron can actually capture it, because there is a chance it can break free.
Well, yeah.
Great.
So if you're gonna, it's more than just closing the container. So not only are you gonna be able to weaken it with your control storm, and then physically capture it with your Mizium noose, you still have to weaken it enough, because the weaker it is, the less chance it is to escape.
Right. Well, at the very least, I can speed up the process by casting Fabricate.
Okay, that's
I don't know what that
definitely
does.
allows them
It's
to
ha-
make shit.
It's handy.
What does it do?
He
Okay.
basically can make whatever he wants within reason.
Well, I need the raw material in front of me, but yeah.
Oh,
How long does that take to cast? Is that just pretty
10
quick?
minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you need a house? Here's all the materials. Boom. 10 minutes, you have a house.
that
pretty cool.
is crazy.
You ever seen Full Metal Alchemist?
Yeah, literally just doing alchemy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much that, except instead of having Ed's where he snaps and then does it, it's where they draw all the circles and everything and then put all the materials in the center and then do it.
That's so
Well,
crazy.
Well, basically, I can create a object within either a 10-foot cube or 8 connected 5-foot cubes. So,
Okay, so it's more limited than alchemy, but it's pretty much the same thing.
It's
yeah.
pretty close.
What do you need? We need a little bit. What is the material components for a person?
Oh no.
Be careful. I heard the cost of that's an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Also, a whole other person probably.
Yeah. So you guys got a plan? It seems. She
guess
she
so.
looks at you and says, I can get you the Mysium,
But we need to make it.
but I'm.
Well, I guess
gonna
you could just
need-"
fabricate it.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So the only question is, we're going to need collateral. The amount of Mysium you're taking already with my dodecahedron is costly enough, but at least you're willing to trade the equivalent exchange of the egg.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's too much Full Metal Alchemist for one episode. But as for the stuff for the noose, you're going to have to provide something of equal value, and it's not cheap. You're talking the materials alone are probably 10 to 12,000 Ethereum.
Thought it was Electrum.
Thank you, Electrum.
Yep.
So
Here's an idea for compensation.
we
only-
need the egg.
We don't need the egg. We need the Arclight conduit while it's alive.
Yes, but we
Yep.
need the egg to give for loaning. So
He's
how are we
loaning you
supposed
the
to get
dodecahedron.
that while keeping it alive?
Well, it only needs to be alive while you capture the conduit.
Yep.
Once
Right.
you capture the conduit, it's going to die,
Thus leaving the egg. Got it.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
It's all speculation at the moment, but she's willing to risk it.
What if there's no egg? Then what happens? If
Then we fail.
somehow the experiment,
Then we'll be in
somehow
tremendous debt
everyone's
with the Izzet.
information is wrong,
Yeah.
and the egg simply does not happen.
And then we fail. Then we have to go hunt down a planeswalker and get their spark.
Welcome to the risk we are all taking.
Fair
That thing
enough.
I'm giving you is very valuable, but that's a risk I'm willing to take in exchange for something that may or may not happen.
Yep.
Fair enough.
That's the risk.
I appreciate your kindness.
It's not kindness, it's science. Isn't science fabulous?
Yes.
Science rules.
Okay, so I guess we do have a plan. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't really expect us to have one, truthfully.
She says, if you give me a, probably within the next hour, I can gather the Mysium you need.
I mean,
We'll need you to sign a contract for both the Mysium as well as the Mysium dodecahedron to solidify the deal. As you know, we always got to have paper trails, paperwork. So
Of course.
much logistics and administration. I absolutely dread it. That's why I got me assistant. And she points over, and you see this poor young lady just typing away in the corner, and you just see this 3D screen just scrolling endlessly as she's typing.
You know, I keep thinking about building myself a homunculus.
You know, I've used those. They're okay, but sometimes they get a little psychotic. You got to be careful. If you leave them alone on their own, they kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say malfunction, because it doesn't matter how many times I rebuild them. They
Yeah.
last for a little while. Sometimes they fall apart. They go crazy. They form little packs with each other and take on strange names. And
I
Yep.
just realized something of the control weather spell I
the
need.
last one fell in love with me and kept calling himself Lust. It was very terrifying. What? No more Full Metal Alchemist? Are you guys done yet?
Oh, I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. What were
So-
you saying, Matt?
So Garmor, there are material components that Garmor needs, but they're kind of cheap. But I don't think you can find them in the Izzet sector.
What is it you need?
Burning incense, and bits of earth and wood mixed in water.
Is that for your control weather spell?
Mm-hmm.
So
Or you
as,
could probably just use a spell focus.
hey, shh. We're sticking to components. I got it. It's fine. We got this covered. So, as you guys are, you guys kind of got a plan together. You guys head back to your loft, and while you're there, just as you're getting there, there are two strangers sitting there: a fiery-haired dwarf woman and a very dull, gaunt, slender person. And you can see on their name tags that they are the Olag and can't read my own writing.
Misery?
Nizzuri, that's an R. Okay, I'm gonna make that a little clearer.
Because
And
it
Nizzuri,
rhymed with misery.
yeah. And she said, they go, oh, excuse me, sir, you must be our supervisor.
I am.
They introduce themselves. Ah, not another one.
Well, to find
Well-
another one.
What is it you want? What do you need me to do?
Well, first off, I need you both to assist on my project. Hence why your assistance.
As long as I ain't got to clean your toilet.
Yeah, I heard something about fear of water in that one. That shouldn't be a problem.
So it occurs to you that these two might be the perfect one to get the resources and deliver them that you need, not only for collect them from the museum and stuff and help it delivered, but also give all the material components that you will need in preparation, as well as any adventuring gear you might need.
All right, first and foremost, what have you two been informed about my project?
They both push on their wrists, and these 3-dimensional things come up. Interdimensional travel, I guess.
Excellent.
I mean, it seems like you're trying to planeswalk, but I feel like that's the realm of the gods, but whatever. As long as I get paid. The other one says, well, you know, it's definitely interesting science, and I'm excited to learn. What is it you need us to do?
Well, first and foremost,
We need you to go fight the Arclight Phoenix.
hold up. It's fireproof, not lightning proof.
I'm sorry, what? No, I don't.
No.
We're not
That
here
was
to
out of
fight.
character, but
Oh, we need you to go test this theory, see if it works.
yeah,
Oh, no.
I need you
We're
guys to throw a very metal harpoon about. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Niv Mizzet, how do I commission new assistants?
I'm
What happened to
pretty
your
sure
other
these ones will
ones?
die.
No idea. They just stopped coming to work. Anyways, what were you saying, Merl?
Anyways, well, actually, planeswalking is something that we've done before, and it's a relatively, I stress the word relatively, common where I come from, so it's all relative.
You're planeswalkers?
I mean,
Yes.
as long as you have the proper spell, it's not really a problem.
Well, if it's not really a problem, how come you can't get home?
Hence the project.
But it sounds complex and difficult. Otherwise, you would already did it, which is counterintuitive to what you just said.
I
They
did
look
say
at each other.
relatively.
We're supposed to work for this guy?
Oh, yes.
Clearly,
I mean, if you want,
you can tell they've got no confidence in you at all.
I can warp you out of here. Briefly. If you would like to test our theory about us being planeswalkers. I'm going to cast banishment on them if you haven't found that out yet.
Okay, they both disappear.
Give it about a minute.
Why?
You
Well,
do risk
they-
it. Well,
didn't believe in us.
Well, you do realize they're incapacitated during the entire time they're gone, right?
Oh yeah.
So they won't actually experience anything.
Well, they'll probably experience something, but
I mean, they got sucked out of here, and then they're gonna get spit back in here. So, presumably, they will feel
So
something.
maybe they're just kind of like staring in darkness.
That's
Yeah.
kind of how I've always thought about it.
well, my point though is you don't have to wait the full minute. You can end it anytime you want.
I give it like 30 seconds, and I just go.
They pop back, and then they kind of look at each other.
So, back to work, right, fellas?
They look at each other. We're really supposed to work for these people? I'm a female, you idiot. Can't you tell by my beard? And she's got a really short, like, goatee beard for a dwarf.
Technically,
Fellas
they
was
work
a generic term.
Technically, they
thank you.
work for Merl, not all three of us.
The other
Yeah.
one says, and you may refer to me as they or them.
Okay.
All right.
Nizari is they, them. Oleg is she.
Yes.
Okay.
But anyway, my aim was when I provided the Izzet League here with designs for bags of holding, and one thing I made a very clear note of: if you put a bag of holding inside another bag of holding, it actually creates a term reality briefly and goes to the astral sea, which is another plane, if you will.
They kind of just look at each other. All right. Yeah. Well, whatever you need.
All right.
Just tell us what you need, and we'll get it. That's why
All
we're
right.
here. Just sign our paperwork, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll do what we got.
First, I need you to. First, I need you to make it clear what your expertise are, each of you.
The dwarf kind of stands up. She says, "I'm a mechanical engineer. I build stuff."
Perfect.
And the other one says, "And me?" She smiles. "I'm a controls engineer. I can design complex, integrated circuits and assist along with the mechanical aspect." She snaps on her wrist in the hologram. "I design things like these."
Excellent.
So one's a designer and one's a builder.
Perfect.
It's almost like the Izzet knows how to categorize and send people, or the DM was just paying attention, which doesn't
Okay.
happen very often.
All right. First off, here's the material that we're going to need. I provide the list, which includes, of course, the 3,000 pounds of mithril, the flux capacitor, and a few other designs. All right. Me and my boys here, we're trying to get find the Arclight Phoenix so we can extract its essence so we can use it to power the machine. Because we need a lot of power.
Okay. This is going to be very expensive. You know that, right?
Of course.
To requisition this, it's going to need higher level approval than we have.
Right.
So then wouldn't just a written note work from someone who is of higher standard, of higher stature?
I
Right.
imagine. Do you have one?
Is he not one?
No, I'm
No.
only a supervisor.
But you did just talk to someone and they don't know that, so.
I'll let you figure this out. I gotta check something real quick.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
If it itches, it's because you didn't wipe good enough.
Shit. Yep. Anyway, first and foremost, we know the material we need. We just need to come up with a design. We need to submit the paperwork, as you very well know. We also need a plan to come up with the fabrication process. I believe it's so crazy it just might work.
So just for clarification, you guys already have permission from the lady in charge. They just
Yeah.
don't know that. So, she says, "Well, we'll do what we can do, and we'll try to report back with everything that we need."
All right.
Is there a time limit you're on?
Well, we're about to head off to a maze of madness, if you will. So to retrieve some materials. Oh yeah. Hopefully I won't die this time.
Retrieve materials. What do you mean?
Well,
The
we got
maze is the entrance into the area where the Arclight Phoenix is.
that is correct.
Okay, you said you needed materials, and I was trying to.
Well, the material is the Phoenix.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you guys kind of get your affairs in order.
What I miss?
After nothing
Nothing.
much, like literally nothing. After about 2 hours, the young assistants return, and here comes this dwarven woman with just the stockpile of raw ore that she's carrying on her shoulder as she's picked up a pallet of it and she's carrying it. She opens up the door. Whoosh, you should know. This is a heavy.
Yes.
Okay. She walks in and with a loud crash, it smashes into the ground.
And this
Hey,
is
what-
mithril or museum.
And this is the Mizium. She
Excellent.
looks at you and just says, we're not able to get any mithril. It seems like the Selesnya Conclave has already dug up quite a bit.
Well, we knew we had probably got to go that route anyway. Anyway, let me get to work on this museum here.
After she says that, you do recall some sort of discussion with Osiv about some the conclave, him making a deal to get some of it with the conclave.
Yep.
But it was very in passing. I don't remember. I'm trying to find the spot. But anyway,
Yep.
so the young dwarf Olag walks up and says, Olag is it Olag? Olag says, "Do you need help coming up with the designs?"
I think we got it. But thank you. Actually,
Well,
let's see what you come up with.
I was volunteering her, and it points over to her. I was volunteering them, and points over to the fair skinned
Nizzuri.
person. Nizzuri says, "They're the designer. I just follow the designs. If you don't need someone to build it, which it sounds like you don't, judging from your plan, then I'm gonna go. My day ended an hour ago, so you
Well,
all
go ahead
have
and
a
take
good
your time
one."
off then.
And she leaves. And then the Nizzuri walks up and starts handing out is there any anything that you guys feel like you need from like the regular equipment table?
Regular?
As well as yeah,
Yeah.
the equipment
Okay.
table. I'm not giving you any you got enough magical items for right now.
Yeah.
And then in
Excuse
addition
me,
to
I
any
don't have
spell
any magical
components-
items.
What?
Huh, that's funny because I'm pretty sure. Oh, never.
Anywho. Anyway, Misery, here's the general concept I have for the design. Can you fabricate something quickly?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I think I can do that. Are you- I have to check something.
Yep.
She says, "Yeah, absolutely." She kind of spends some time fiddling around with some designs. She's grabbing the 3D holograms and putting stuff together, and kind of just in a corner. What is Zorax and Merl kind of discussing, and Garmor discussing why this is going on?
Zorax is currently like looking over and seeing if he needs anything for this trip, but he's not seeing much that he might need.
What does Garmor see on the equipment table that he could potentially use?
That's more like a you question.
That's more of a you question.
I don't know. I
confused.
was gone for like a minute.
The equipment table, the one in the book, like the item, all the mundane items.
Yeah.
Mundane
Like,
item.
you can basically pick whatever you want out of the player's handbook if you think you need it out of the mundane items.
Do I have a grappling hook on this character? I should have.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna grab a grappling hook, regardless
Same,
if
'cause
I
I only
don't
have-
have one.
Same.
Not
'cause
that
I
he
only
needs
have,
it, but he has one.
He's gonna get one as well because he has 50 feet of rope.
Don't really need. I don't need.
Oh, I know why. Okay. I was like, man, I thought I gave Garmor, but there was a scenario where you went a different direction and missed it. I was like, damn, I thought I was certain I gave that out to you. Because that was after
missed
the
what?
magical cloak. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
The cloak was an echo thing.
Yeah, it was after that. I was like, man, because I was like, man, I know I had it planned, but it looks like the opportunity got moved.
Why is it? Am I reading that right? A spyglass is worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, it's hard to see really far.
I mean, even just a regular magnifying glass is 100. That seems crazy to me.
It's not that the item's expensive as much as the expertise to make it during this time period is.
Yeah, but now we're on Ravnica, so I wonder if I can procure one for a lot easier.
Why
I
don't
wonder
you
how
ask the game master.
Yeah. Do you by chance have a spyglass?
You mean like a telescope?
Yes.
I'm certain you can find plenty of them in the observatory.
They're pocket-sized, correct?
Well, that depends on the one that you get, I think. Now, if you would not disturb me while I'm trying to work, and she goes back to her designing.
My apologies. And he just meanders out. Time to look for a futuristic spyglass. Time to see really far away.
Okay. So after you guys, she kind of tosses something together, and you evaluate. I should probably roll to see how good of a job she did. All right, so she actually did pretty good. As she's kind of tossing this together, you kind of evaluate her work. She does make a few minor mistakes in the overall design of this device, but overall, you're pretty happy. You just make some minor adjustments and give her a little talking to about the mistakes she made and how it's it's common, but learn from those mistakes and don't make them again. And at this point, you guys have a large designed for two large pikes connected by a 50-foot chain that can be used as a noose.
Excellent.
And it's got the chains have like spikes on them. And she has like a bit of rubber that's running between the chains that then runs down the ends of the pikes into the ends. So when they stick in the ground, the rubber absorbers are grounded first, drawing the electricity to the ground. If somebody's out there is smart in physics, I have no idea if that's how that works, but that's what I'm going with.
Okay. Excellent. Now I get that fabricating.
All right. Do you want to describe how that looks?
Well,
me too.
Well, it's going to take about 10 minutes, but go right ahead. You're better at it than I am usually.
All right, I got this. So while the design is being it was being graded and everything, you started sending your assistant to set up a little area chock full of tools and most notably the core materials you'll need, along with a printout of the schematic. And you did this kind of paper printout that's about poster size, right in the center, with all these intricate arcane sigils on it. you grab a laser engraver and create this very complex, intricate circle that allows you to harness the arcane energies from the different elements around you. And almost like a painter, like a sculptor, as you touch the edge of it, it glows brightly with crackling blue and green lightning as it's bouncing around, and the whole area begins to glow and then poof in a gust of smoke that blasts and release out from the whole area. There is a set of Mizium. Mizium's almost like a bronze, right?
Yeah.
It looks more like bronze than gold. This Mizium pikes with a chain with rubbers through it. Very long chain, 50 and 4 on pikes, right there, ready to go. And the designer looks with you. She says, my, that is a technique few can do. Count me very impressed. I guess it wasn't you're not such a lame supervisor after all.
Always dangerous to make assumptions.
You know what? And you're right. Forgive me for that. But I promise Oleg is going to be sad she missed this.
She chose to leave. And I say, when it comes to overtime, I can't really blame them too much for that.
Yeah, they're pretty sticklers for overtime here. They already pay us the bare minimum. Expect us trying to call us in on the weekends. Please don't do that. I hate that. I would really appreciate if you just let me have my time off. And if I tell you no, just accept it.
That's fair.
All right. So you guys got everything together. You've got coordinates of where you need to go. You've got some equipment. Anything else you guys need before you head back to the teleporters?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Unless there was something that the DM wanted us to have.
There are one superior healing potion for each of you was available to be as a requisition.
That might be wise.
Compliments of your, I guess you call her a sponsor.
One superior potion added.
That's the one after greater, right?
Probably.
Let's see here.
I don't know.
Manage, add. Come on.
All I know is it says on here 8d4 plus 8 hit points when you drink it.
Okay.
Woo! Yep, it's the one after greater. You're right.
Yep.
Did you say superior or supreme?
Superior.
Superior.
Okay, supreme is the highest of them all.
Correct.
And very
We're
rare.
not getting that.
Yeah.
That thing heals like a truck.
Yep, 10d4 plus 20.
Yeah. We're not getting that one. That's way too kind of our DM. I'm assuming our DM is expecting us to get hurt, so... or else we wouldn't have this to begin with.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Deadly encounter incoming.
All right. So you guys pack up all your stuff. Merl gives some last little commands to Misery so that she can pass on responsibilities that her and Olag are supposed to do.
Yep.
You guys get to the teleporter, and there is the tall, relatively slender Laxodon woman saying, "Do you know where you're going yet?"
We sure do.
All right. Put the calculation of the location in the teleporter guidance system and pucker up. I'm sure you'll do better than the last people.
Probably. Hopefully. Maybe. Let's find out.
We'll see.
Only hope. So, as you guys step in, her big giant trunk kind of blows like a tooting horn for a second, and you are caught in a flash of lights and electricity. Your body kind of tingles, and next thing you know, you're moving through this twisting, turning, round tunnel that is moving really fast. It's only for an instant, and then you reappear in a very dusty, destroyed kind of area. The ground is very hard and rocky. You are standing just outside of a very small village. The buildings are made out of stone with tile and thatched roofs. They're very run down, but the town is surprisingly active. The entire area is cast over by a massive mountain with a thunderstorm crackling over top of it in the distance. Very much Doom Mountain type things in Legend of Zelda, right? It's just kind of casting this ever and never ending darkness over the area, and kind of some doom and gloom, right?
Yeah.
You see several people meandering about. As you look down and you see a giant, like seared sigil into the ground from the teleportation process.
We made it.
The smell of a foul stench kind of fills the area, the air. It's very almost smells. If evil could have a smell, it would be this. And you do recall her mentioning the spy mentioning the area was known as the Demon Wastes. And now that term kind of makes sense.
Well, it doesn't smell like Avernus.
That's true.
All right. So are you ready to fly?
Hold up. Then we want to consult the locals first in their villages.
I mean, is that not what we were here to do?
Otherwise, we just went straight to the mountain.
Right.
All right.
We all likes the thundercloud, but I mean, we still have to get through the maze unless we're just gonna fly over it.
Not to mention find the maze entrance.
Yeah.
All right. Best stick together. I don't like the idea of being in demon territory of Ravnica.
Well,
No. It's
thankfully, I
only
don't think
called
it's as
demon
bad.
territory. Doesn't mean it is demon territory.
A tiefling walks out. Well, shit. We almost made it, guys.
Clearly, you forget about Visanya's warning, Mr. Resurrected.
Yeah. No, not really.
I don't even remember what that warning is anymore. So therefore, it must not have pertained to me.
All right, so
Because we just find a local, I guess.
yep, as you guys
Say,
are
hey.
walking around, the ramshackle buildings of this really small village seem kind of huddled close together to the ground, as if kind of protecting themselves from the dangerous environment. A haze of black smoke kind of hangs overhead and kind of trails down to meet the chimneys of a few piles of burning and damaged refuse. The stench of every kind of filth just kind of assaults your nostrils. Like I said, the streets are not crowded, but in just a glance, you see representation of dozens of a half a dozen different races, from humans to even a lumbering ogre, and kind of everything in between. This isn't just a culture of one; it's currently a just mix, and it's easy to tell who lives here versus who is just kind of passing through. Um, Your arrival does draw a little bit of attention, some blank stares, some knowing smiles, and a few people who look kind of like hungry predators pleased at the arrival of new prey. Um, so you kind of have your pick to walk up and talk to any of these.
Probably the ones with the smiles.
Um, okay, so you kind of look around and you do spot what almost looks like a beggar smile at you, missing almost all but one tooth. It's just kind of gangling, and he's holding out a thing, and he's kind of smiling to you as you walk over. He goes, "Can you spare a bit of coin, lad?"
Unfortunately, I don't believe I have currency that works here.
Sure do.
So as you toss it with a clink in his coin, he says, I appreciate it. I bet we'll probably all be dead in the morning anyway, but
We might
thanks
be.
anyway. For sure, yeah.
Why is that?
What brings you here? Have you not looked around? Nobody comes here. People dying every day, and then you at that moment, a guy comes around the corner. Bring out your dead.
I'm not dead yet.
Bring out your dead. He says, well, well, if there's anything you can count on for the demon lands here, it's certainly death and stench.
Speaking of this area, I'm looking for the Maze of the Shattered Soul, if you've ever heard of it.
And everyone stops moving, and like all at once, their heads just over to you. And he says,
Too much.
friend, that is not the kind of place that you want to visit.
That's a shame. That's where I have to go.
We never said that's where we wanted to go. It's where we have to go.
Well, I'm gonna be honest and upfront with you.
You're talking to 3 dead men. Just please point me where to go.
He just kind of points with a really crooked finger towards this just terrifying mountain. And he says, it's generally that way. But I recommend you stop by the pillar in the center of town and give it a good read before you head that direction.
See, this is why we said we should stop here first.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So as you kind of meander about, everyone's head is following you and they're watching you. I need everyone to give me an insight check.
Ooh, insight.
They probably think we're crazy.
I mean,
They're not wrong.
I said they are talking to 3 dead men for a reason.
Okay, I do not have
All
advantage, but holy crow, they finally did it.
12.
12.
Insight, you say?
Yep.
Why? 13.
All right. So you guys just get kind of a bit of discomfort as they look at you. You can't tell if it's out of concern, anxiety, or some other emotion. They just kind of watch you.
Wait, what's my passive?
You got a high passive, don't you?
Yeah, 20.
Sorry, you got to keep reminding me of that. I forget.
Sorry.
That's okay. When I call for an insight check, just remind me that your passive is ridiculously high, because this is something your character would pick up on. So, on the other hand, Garmor, you notice that just ever so slightly, each one of these has a look almost as if a predator ready to pounce upon a prey, almost like somebody who's about to enjoy a delicious meal. Now, you don't think that they feel that they're really feeling like they're going to eat you or anything, but a newfound dessert, maybe something is exciting. Something got them excited after they mentioned you were going to the Shattered Souls maze.
Like the intent, they would have the intent to target us.
Possibly. Obviously, without them saying it, you don't know it for sure, but that is certainly a
Like a gleeful intensity is probably what you would say.
Yes.
Got it.
Perfect. So as you guys are walking your way towards the center of town, there is this massive pillar, and etched on the pillar, it says the Whispers of Prophecy. And it says in Ravnican, and in Dwarven, and in Common, and in any languages you've never seen. It says, those who seek the shattered souls under the light of the storm's bright moon. Those who seek the shattered souls under the light of storm's bright moon, when the twilight forest is at its nearest, shall turn barren lands into spring's first blossoming.
Say that again. I lost track.
Those who seek the shattered souls under the light of storms, bright moon, when the twilight forest is at its nearest, shall turn the barren lands into spring's first blossoming.
So do they just expect us to create their land into some form of fertility all of a sudden?
With our death.
Someone's.
Something's going to die. I don't think it matters either way for us.
All right.
Could I discern that it's a bright moon tonight? Or somehow?
It's kind of hard to see because, do you have a feature that would let you automatically know like the positions of the moon or something? I feel like there's something out there like
There's
that.
actually a feature for that, yeah.
Yeah, I think
But
there is.
I don't think any of us have that.
There's there's the nature proficiency. There's also druidcraft.
Yeah, except for
Cantrip.
you're not from this plane of existence, so
That does bring some issues.
I'm trying to think of how you would have that knowledge. That's why I asked if you had a feature. So right now, the sky is pretty much just darkened. It's got this kind of permanent ash or cloudy mist ash thing going on. So it's really hard to see in any really direction beyond the mountain that's high up. So is there a moon out? There might be. There might not be. It's hard to tell. If you were to manipulate the winds, you might be able to create a clear path to see.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I just
We
thought
need
I'd let you
time.
know that is available to you.
All right. Are we ready?
As ready as
Where's
we'll
the
ever be,
rubber
I
band?
suppose.
All right.
Ready.
So I'm wielding 2 giant pikes on my back connected with 50-foot chains.
Yeah, I really feel like you should have some sort of like slowdown or something while you're lugging those big things.
Or a way to hold on onto it, like with a bag, maybe.
With a bag
holding?
of holding, perhaps.
Yeah, that makes more sense. All right.
Just stuff those bad boys in there.
Be right.
As you're leaving, as you're heading out of town, let me check something really quick. All right, yeah. So as you guys make your way to the labyrinth, it is about a day's travel from here.
I was gonna wind walk us there.
Okay, are you going to do that?
Yeah, if everyone was up for it.
Okay.
I'm cool with it if you're cool with it.
I mean, it's a spell slot if you're willing to use it.
Time is of the essence that they had like a 2.5 days head start.
You. Yep.
So
Yep.
Well, they did.
they did. Unless they're dead.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. But we can rest by the time we get to the entrance.
True.
Perhaps.
Ideally, anyway. We'll see.
All right.
Right.
How long does your thing last? An hour? 8 hours? I don't
It
remember.
lasts 8 hours, but the casting time is 1 minute.
Okay. So you kind of be gathering energy and circling you and them with these kind of wind twisters at their feet to create lift and cast them into the sky as you guys streak across the desolate lands.
Very
And-
effective form of travel.
Right. And as you guys are just skimming over the top of this landscape, the demon waste is an absolute accurate description. The pools of water are filthy and black. The wildlife that you do see is sickly and ill and thin of frame. Very little to no trees, and those that do exist don't blossom. They have no green on them at all.
Nuts.
It's really just a desolate place. It is literally a wasteland as you're flying over it. Why anybody would live in this area, you don't know. But you can understand why the area is got little to no, villages. Where's
No, it checks out.
Yep.
I gotta check something real quick. Where's my page? There it is.
You're checking. Be right back.
Where is my thing? I'm a bobber. All right. Okay. I found what I was looking for. All right. So, as you guys are flying around, I'm going to need perception checks to seek out the entrance.
Oh yeah, we forgot to ask where it was, didn't we? The entire point of us going there in the first place.
Yeah.
I got a 3.
Well, it all looks the same.
Oh,
That's gonna be a 12. Oh
if there
yeah.
was an entrance. I haven't seen it.
Father, it's the one that looks like it's man-made, I think.
She brings a valid point.
Are
Do
you
I gain
freaking
another
kidding
try?
me?
We'll see. We'll see what they get.
Are you kidding me? I rolled a 15, and yet my passive perception is also 20.
I too rolled a 12.
So you rolled a 15. So what is the is that with your bonus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you guys fly around for a good bit as you're streaking over the mountain. You do land into a few inaccurate locations where you spot a few and you think that they're kind of clear, but unfortunately, they're just small hovels that people have carved out for rests or something along those lines. You definitely find some that were made with magical spells like mold earth or something to create kind of a temporary location.
Right.
But after a good portion, how long does your flight last again? I'm sorry.
8
8 hours.
8 hours. So after probably good 6 hours or so, you do finally find the entrance to the labyrinth. Excuse me. I was looking for a. Oh, look at that. You can't look at that. That's for me. You do find this very interesting shaped entrance. The reason you struggled to find it is because it didn't look actually man-made. Instead of the entrance being a door, it looks more like a crack in the ground that was split from an earthquake, which made it very difficult to locate. And so the time it took you guys each lost a hit die from exhaustion, and the amount of effort it took to constantly look without, taking a break. That's minor. You should be okay.
Yeah.
So, as you land just outside of this, what preparations, if any, are you going to take before you enter?
First off, I'm going to manifest not 1, but 2 arcane turrets. So I can do that now.
Cool.
It's a fair point.
Should
How long
we
does that last?
But about an hour.
Okay.
should we rest up because I don't have the control weather spell prepared.
Yep. Well, at the very least, we don't know how far the other group is in. And I think we should at least head in there. And even if we can't take down the Arclight Phoenix now, we can at least deal with the group now so they at least don't get it.
It's a fair point.
Does Garmor see any traces of people passing through here recently?
Give me a survival check.
Let me look over my notes from my talents. And yes, I have, due to the talent and nature sense, I have advantage on survival checks. And I'm going to add guidance to that. Wait, pull up the skill.
It's pretty good.
Oh, now you work for me.
Of course.
Isn't that how it always works?
27.
That's not bad. So as you're kind of looking at the entrance of this long crack, you don't see any footprints, but you see evidence of somebody trying to hide the footprints. You can see areas where the dust and sand and pebbles have been swept aside to cover up footprints, to hide not only the type of traffic, but the quantity. But something has definitely entered recently.
Somebody tried to cover their tracks.
I suppose
Someone's
who
been
would
here.
when they're trying to come into this place?
They were also trying to hide the quantity of what was here. I think Merl was right about what he said earlier.
Of course I was. Which thing?
The
I'll try
possibility
and
of
keep
the possibility of the Emerald Claw being here.
Yeah.
I'll try and keep an eye out for any souls within however big my range is, which is 60
range?
feet.
60 feet?
60 feet. So I will try and keep it in mind if I detect anything as I'm walking in there.
And Garmor has a passive perception of 20.
I will keep that in mind.
The passive perception's 11, but if I can just see their soul, it's about just as fucking good. And particularly of looking for people, and that being alive entities.
Yeah.
Cannot see
And it's
the
also worth
undead.
mentioning, too, that my passive investigation is 20.
Ooh.
Okay.
Although my aura, which is 20 feet, can see... Hold on, let me bring it up here. For the DM. Because I don't remember the exact terminology used, so give me one sec. I'm aware of the location of any hidden or invisible creatures within your aura while I am not unconscious or incapacitated. Additionally, you can see creatures in the ethereal plane.
Nate.
20 feet.
That's really, really cool. I like that.
So I'm just very aware of my surroundings when it comes to things that would likely hurt me.
Yep, that's definitely a way to do it. All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
Don't have that prepped. Oh, well.
We don't have
Did you guys
time.
decide to take a break or anything? I know that was brought up.
So, would you need a short rest in order to change your spell? Or a
long rest.
It would be a long rest.
Okay.
Like I said, I think it's better to at least eliminate the other group first before dealing with the Phoenix at the very least.
And if we are at a stopping point before we reach the Arclight Phoenix, we could rest then.
Yeah, that might be what we have to do, because we
Yep.
don't know if they're already fighting it. So
Yeah.
All right, then.
that is
and
the current problem. We also don't know if there's multiple entrances,
Good point.
because if they found another way in, that means they can also leave that same way, which is another issue.
Rebuttal. we did find evidence of somebody coming in this way and try to hide it. So
That's
Mhm.
true. That's true.
And you know it's relatively recent, so
All right. So all for venturing in, say aye.
Aye.
Then we're venturing in.
4.
all right. Ooh, that's nice. Sorry, I got distracted. Not a concern of yours. All right, so let me find my thing here. So, as you guys step into this, you immediately realize that this is more massive than you could have imagined. That as you step into this and you start to see how big the mountain is compared to where the entrance is, it quickly becomes apparent that it could probably take you days to get through this maze. This labyrinth it twists, it turns, it goes up, it goes down, it backtracks, it splits. It is going to be um, quite the challenge. Within the first bit of travel, you find skeletal remains of long dead adventurers whose equipment and um, packs were already pilfered. Um, so we're gonna do this as kind of a skill challenge, and then fails will determine encounters and that sort of thing. So
Oh,
um,
Garmor is going to spend one of his wild shape uses to use the Tasha's feature known as Wild Companion. Basically, I sacrifice the use of wild shape to use Find Familiar spell,
okay,
and
cool.
he summons
It's a good use of that.
um a light gray cat with red eyes.
Oh, that's cute. Ooh, man, someone just busted my eardrums.
Same.
Yeah.
So
Who needs to
if he
hear?
was 10 feet in front of him, he can communicate with it telepathically as long as it's within 100 feet of us.
Okay.
And additionally, as an action, I can see through my familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of my next turn. So,
Okay.
Gaining the benefits of any special senses that the familiar has during this time, you are
Mhm.
deaf and blind with regard to your own senses.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be sticking with you, Zorax.
Carry me, Zorax.
All
I
right.
can't walk.
No, he's just holding. No, he's just holding on to his thick biceps.
Just tugging him. I'm just tugging him along, like, well, another day.
Yep. I do have to use the stats of the cat, though, unfortunately.
Good old
Yeah,
bodyguard duty.
That's fine. It's not a big deal. All right. So you guys have taken quite a bit of precautions, it seems, as you guys be making your way down these echoey chambers. And this labyrinth is less like a typical dungeon and looks more like it was carved out of the mountain itself.
Oh, shoot.
What?
The familiar lasts for 7 hours.
Okay. Is that a problem?
No, it
Doesn't
just
require concentration or anything, does it?
no. It just says when you can cast the spell in this way, the familiar is a fae instead of a beast, and the familiar disappears after 7 hours.
Very cool.
So that doesn't even sound like it requires concentration. It just sounds like you're essentially using it as a feature rather than the actual spell itself. That seems pretty good, actually.
That is pretty cool.
Thank you,
like that.
Tasha's.
Right? All right. So you guys are making your way through through this complex weaving labyrinth. Where's this at? And there we go. There we go. Kind of got like a lot of crap on my screen right now. Just give me a second.
That's okay.
I want my bigger desk just so I can have a 2 screen set up for that very reason. We're doing that. Be right back.
Yep, that's fine. If you got to go to the bathroom, now's the time to go.
I'm good.
Oh, I made that. Wait, that's not right.
So they actually did it after all this time. So D&D Beyond finally managed to apply the extras tab on their character sheet system on the mobile app. They never did so before, but now they do. This extras feature on the character sheet includes summoning creatures, steeds, companions, wild shape forms.
That's pretty cool.
Which I've only been able to do on my Surface Pro, but now I can do it on my phone.
Very cool. All right. Is he back yet?
Not yet.
Ian!
That's fine. We can wait a second.
I'm here.
I can smell you.
I can smell you.
Yep.
And it's not great.
Not in this heat.
No.
All right. There we go. All right, I'm gonna send you guys. First, I need checks from everyone. So I'm gonna go ahead and need a. You can pick the check. You just have to tell. First, I'm gonna call for survival for navigating the paths. But any check that you think would work or skill you think would work, as long as you think it would work and you can explain to me why, you can use that. So we're going to do a group check first to determine kind of how the wandering goes. So a nature or survival are probably the two big ones. Investigation could work as well. So just tell me which one you're using and we'll go from there.
I'm going to use Garmor's stats for making those rolls. He is going to do another round of survival with perception because with guidance. My apologies.
I have a talent.
Because you can do that.
All right. I'm going to use investigation.
Okay.
A shame. A crime, really.
Oh. That's interesting.
I got a 9.
Actually, no, it's the same thing as last time. 27.
23 investigation.
I got a 9 on survival. I used a bonus and everything and still got 9. Pretty sad.
Yeah, that is pretty sad. All right, so as you guys are working your way through these complex corridors, of the labyrinth. You really do stumble a little bit. There's a little bit of disagreement on which path is the best path. Zorax is insistent that one way is the right way, while you guys kind of get into a bit of a debate. You're at a three-way standstill right now. Garmor, the path splits off. One is a set of stairs that runs alongside of a wall, and they're very, I say stairs, but they're very not stairs. It looks like somebody just kind of chiseled out a little bit, just enough to make steps up the side of the wall that leads to a passage down the way that Garmor is very insistent is the right direction, judging by the evidence of, I wouldn't say dusty footprints, but it looks like a path well traveled, because there doesn't appear to be cobwebs where you would expect them. You can see that they're like hanging on the edges, scouting with your cat ahead. You instantly notice that the cobwebs and stuff were disturbed. Meanwhile, Zorax is insistent that a pathway that winds its way down into a low-level canyon in the distance is most likely the best route. Not because, of anything in particular, but he just has a gut feeling.
Yeah,
And
sounds about right.
it just makes sense. And it's easier because it's going down, and you've been walking zigzag a while, and you could use a little break going down. What was Ian's roll? Or what was Merl's
23
roll?
investigation.
23. Merl, you actually agree with Garmor's assessment, because the third path, there is a thick layer of dust that does look disturbed, but along the edges you can see several holes, receding holes that likely have some sort of trap, and that trap hasn't been triggered at all, which means nobody has gone that direction. That leads you to believe that either it's the right direction, or everyone else agrees that it's the wrong direction and doesn't go. So you're kind of leaning more towards Garmor, but you're not quite sure. So now the rest of you kind of gotta, why don't you role play that out a little bit so I can.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. We've been walking in zigzags for I don't know how long, because time doesn't work here in this maze, and I think
yeah,
it's
the maze.
downstairs time.
Why downstairs when the Phoenix is at the top of the mountain closest to the storm?
Such a damn good response.
Because we have to go down under whatever part of the maze we're in currently to get out of that section to eventually go back up. I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. That's just what my gut's telling me.
That does not make any sense at all.
Yes, it does. We're stuck in this particular room of this maze, right? Imagine just a section. We have to go under that section and come back out a different area, completely sectioned away from the part of the maze that we're currently in.
And what if that leads us even deeper?
Well, we're
If we go
already
in the
deeper.
opposite direction.
I don't.
It's also worth mentioning too that there seems to be some sort of like disturbed artifacts, if you will, in the direction that Garmor here is indicating, which means somebody went that way, which means that might be the guys they're looking for, which is the guys they're trying to hunt down.
Yes, do you see these so-called stairs that are wedging out of this wall? Somebody used magic to create a stepping stone effect, if you will, to climb up this wall and head upwards.
You see Zorax having like a dial-up tone kind of face.
Deer in the headlights, like,
Okay, you're right. Lead the way.
Are you
I
sure
admit
you're not?
it was just a gut feeling, and normally I like to trust my gut, but you guys have some pretty good reasons, and I can't seem to find any fault at the moment. And therefore, because I hate standing still more, I'll go with you guys.
Like when you trusted your gut to let the Grand Duke be as he was heading headlong into battle. That turned out well, didn't it?
Merl agreed with me.
Yeah. That time.
Also, you set me on fire once,
Yeah,
and
that was
my
fun.
gut couldn't help me from that.
Yeah, that was fun.
So as
Didn't
you
you
guys,
didn't you do that yourself when you
You
tried to
flung
save?
me into an on-fire tree that you set on fire
I
from the
didn't-
giant that had properly killed Merl. He remembers because he was in its loving grasp.
Well, actually, I think I was kind of dead at that point, but hey.
Yeah, well, you know. You turned into a big old spooky fire elemental, and there was just one little lone tree. You got smacked into it, and it was set on fire, and unfortunately, I had also been smacked into that same tree. Therefore, I was on fire.
I don't
and
think
I
I was
had
close
to
enough for
fight.
that tree.
It was on fire for a reason.
How about the ensuing chaos of the battle?
I don't think that was why.
Fireballs, lightning strikes, flaming arrows.
I'm gonna roll to see if Zorax distinctly remembers you setting that tree on fire.
I'm gonna remember that too with guidance.
And I'm gonna see. Odd says it was you. Even says fine. It was even, so I guess you're fine. I've had memory issues lately, and I can't seem to remember the fact that I've been stuck in a whole lot of things. I think the interdimensional travel is finally getting to me.
And a
or
sleep
the fact your
deprivation.
character's
Finally getting
measurement
to you.
memory was messed with.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he doesn't
all
know
right,
that,
all right,
sadly.
so,
He thinks there's
I-
something weird, but
Out of character though.
he thinks something's like off, but he's like, I mean,
All right, so you
What
guys,
can I do about
you
it?
guys kind of finally come to a consensus. You're able to bring Zorax around to your way of thinking, and as you make your way through this, you pass up down a hallway and you come out a large section where there is a massive chasm that is about 100 feet wide at its narrowest, and it plunges easily into the world's subterranean reaches, really far. You pretty much only see like strips of red at the bottom, the glowing embers in the distance, likely lava. Now, as you're looking around, Garmor and Zorax and Merle, you all do notice that there is a large jutting ledge that juts out of both sides. That if somebody did fall, if you land right, you might be okay. But as you come out, you basically have this just massive chasm, and on the other side, probably what did I say? Was it like 500 feet? Where is that at?
100.
you said it was far. That's all I
Yeah.
remember.
100 feet
About
wide at its most
100 feet
narrow.
wide, yeah, at its narrowest. And you can see another kind of pathway on the other side of that. The problem is there's a bunch of pathways, almost like a honeycomb, on the opposite end of this chasm.
Oh, no, not again.
So
All right.
first, you need a way to cross the chasm.
Trusting my gut, it's the left one.
Well, I can fly,
So can I.
and he has a grappling hook.
How long's your fly last? So we're gonna say I'm gonna roll a d6 to determine. Well, I think I told you how much time did you spend based on that roll looking for the
Well, it took
6
us 6 hours.
6 hours. So
And we've traveled quite a ways, so I would say
Yeah.
that the spell is up at
well,
this
I'm
point.
gonna roll a d4, and we'll let that determine. So you have a chance to maintain it. If it's 1 or 2, we'll let you keep it and say it'll last another half hour or something.
Well, I
Or
get winged
kind of
too.
wish I would have kept that to myself and have it expire while you're over the chasm, because that would have been fun.
Oh,
I
you're
wouldn't
such a
do that.
benevolent DM.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that to you. Not when there's evidence on the internet. That is a D20 and not a D4, so that's not going to work. All right, I got a 1, so you have 1 hour remaining.
Okay.
Oh, that means
So-
I can fly too.
Yep.
Cool.
Because that means I think you're all under the effects of that. If I'm not mistaken. Well, Merle can
Yeah.
fly anyway, so
Yeah.
you guys
Probably
start.
best to save the energy of your boots.
Yeah. So as you're making your way The the searing heat really, like a gust of heat comes up. There's small earthquakes as you're kind of traveling over this. The whole area is kind of rumbling. You can hear the sound of stones breaking apart and falling into the searing lava at the far base of this chasm. The problem that catches you off guard is there is a very noxious smoke or cloud that is filling the air, and it's getting thicker as you guys cross. I need each person to give me a DC 15 Constitution save, and as you're making it across, the area is beginning thicker and thicker.
As we're in
with
gaseous form? Did we establish
You're
that?
what?
As we're in cloud form?
I thought you cast Fly. Windwalk.
No.
Yeah.
Windwalk is the gaseous form. That's the form you choose.
Oh,
That's the form we are given.
I didn't know that. Does that make you immune to poisons or diseases?
There's like a clicking, and I don't know where it's coming from.
That's me. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's see. 5th, 6th. Windwalk. Yeah. I don't see any stats. And it just says that we assume a gaseous form for the duration, appearing as wisps of cloud. We have.
I would say it doesn't necessarily grant you advantage or immunity to poisons or anything.
No, but it does grant us. It grants us resistance to non-magical damage from
non-magical weapons, not damage. That is a difference.
I was going to correct myself. Okay.
So I'm going to quickly assume probably not.
I'm going to say it's still probably going to affect you, but because you're a gaseous form, I will grant you advantage on the save. How's that?
Okay.
That works.
Do we have Zorax's aura?
Of course.
Always. Is this a con save?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I need to check to know that I succeeded. Yeah.
Natural 19.
I guess with Zorax's bonus, that's going to be a math 33.
Wow, I'm the lowest at 18.
All right, so
okay.
The poison really, as your guys' gaseous clouds, your cloud form kind of begins to deteriorate and change into like a sickly green. You do after a few minutes, you guys kind of elevate yourself a little higher, trying to escape this noxious fumes. You're able to get away mostly intact. I mean, the area did hurt you a little bit. Let me go ahead and roll this damage, and you'll take half. So that's +8. So you guys will take 11 poison damage.
Okay.
So it does hurt you up a little bit, but you're able to make your way through. You come to the cross. Can you guys communicate while you're in this form?
No.
You cannot, unfortunately.
Okay, so there are a collection of entrance options. Like I said, it's kind of like a honeycomb. There's at least a couple dozen paths that you can take. So you have to decide how are you going to determine which one to take and how are you going to communicate that. We'll start with perception checks and investigation checks. You can pick whatever one is higher. Zorax, you can feel a soul. You can feel a soul in one of the holes. It's a flicker of a soul. So it's hard to tell exactly what kind of creature it is. I think it just tells you just see souls.
Right? Yeah, I just see the soul. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
But it seems to be partially down the tunnelway.
19 for investigation.
For Merl for 19.
I rolled a 14 perception from a roll.
I'll use also.
Okay.
Well, I guess I can use perception here.
So As you guys are looking around,
Oh my god, only a 12.
so you're kind of Zorax. You're kind of drawn to the fact that you've seen a soul. It's the
Mhm.
first living thing other than you guys you've seen since you've arrived in here. Garmor, you notice that a good half of these things are just not. They've not had any sort of activity at all. They're coated deep in cobwebs that you can kind of spot from a distance. And then Merl, you actually spot you don't spot, you smell a strange odor coming from one of the ports that you passed. And that same port is the one that Zorax spotted life in. The stench is, I don't want to say overwhelming because the whole area is overwhelming, but it's very
Distinct.
yes, distinct. I like that.
Yeah.
But there is one more that really catches Garmor's eye. Garmor, you spot one that not only are the cobwebs disrupted, but as you get closer, you can hear the echoes of grumbling or talking or something ever so faintly coming down one of them. So you've got basically a few options here.
I float over to the hole with the smell, and I form my gaseous form into an arrow. The question mark.
I love it.
Does
I
the,
love it.
does the
Take an
DM allow that?
inspiration for that? Hell yeah, I do. That's awesome.
Garmor would like
Turn
to
your gaseous form into an arrow to communicate. That is clever.
Garmor would like to form a Torelian question mark.
Okay.
Zorax assumes the form of a stick figure and then turns into an arrow and points down the hallway.
Okay.
Okay. So which
Stick figure. That's very creative.
I like that. So see what I started?
He's
Give
dumb.
an inch, take a mile, right? What? He turned into something I could turn into a person figure. All right. So you guys have to
I
tell me
presume it's simple enough.
which ones are you going to go down, because you're clearly pointing towards different ones, right?
Well, two of us can indicate the same one, so that seems to be good of a direction as any.
All right, but Garmor is going to form a shape of a hand going.
Wonder Twin Power activate. Shape of a hand.
I am one finger pointing up.
All right, so you guys going down the path with the
faint soul.
Faint soul. Is that correct?
Yep.
Sure.
Moments like this made me wish I built a helm of telepathy.
Right.
That would be ideal. So I guess, okay, I mean, if we're going down that way. We should probably get out of our form soon.
So as you guys start...
Is there space on the on the side of where that faint soul is for us to revert and make ready?
Say that again.
The side of where that faint soul is there room for us to revert out of sight?
So these are kind of just craggy twists and stuff. So even though they're primary like recesses, there are enough turns that you could easily hide your form as you're changing back. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember, these are carved out of kind of the natural mountain. So think of it like more like a mine, right? instead of a maze mine, right? Something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because if we're gonna be fighting something, we don't really want to take a minute to revert back to ourselves and
No.
That's also true.
get our heads kicked in by this point. So.
Yeah, definitely not something you want to do. All right, so you guys kind of land inside the crunching of boots and on something stiff. You cracking. You look down and you see some a collection of broken bones and stuff like that. Some dusty old adventuring gear. So you definitely feel like you're on the right track. Ah!
Garmor casts Pass Without a Trace on all of us, so you have a +10 to your stealth checks.
Right.
Very
I
cool.
love this spell.
It's a very
It's
good
handy.
spell.
I'm definitely feeling the love here. All right. Oh, man. Remind me to tell you guys about this awesome program later.
Bardley?
All right. No, well, that too. That's a really great one. So, something else. So, as you guys start making your way down the twisting cavern, you get closer and closer to the soul. And as you approach, you're probably within 15 feet of the soul, but you don't see anything with your eyes, Zorax. You hear a voice, "Father, there is something here."
Alarming. Okay.
Doesn't see what?
But we don't see the thing, right?
Right. You can
Um,
see its soul, and it's like I said, it's a flickering thing. It's you see the soul's there, but you can't see anything.
I'm going to move within. Hold on, give me one sec. No, it's just location, unless it's in the ethereal plane, I guess.
So
That's odd.
yeah. So as you approach,
Yeah, I'll just approach it for now.
Carefully.
I mean, I have some stealth, I guess, so I may as well attempt it, I suppose.
Hang on, I'm trying to see if I can pull up a map to use. I don't have one for this. Give me 1 second.
You're good.
Because we might need it depending on how this goes. I was looking for like a small little corridor or something.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really think about it because I'm a schmuck. Actually, we might not. Yeah, we might need it. Oh, does that one work? This one might work.
As I approach, do I sense any more souls or no?
Nope, it's still just the one in you guys.
Okay.
As you're inching closer, you don't understand why you don't see anything. You don't see any footprints. There's nothing. You're within, 15 feet, 20 feet of it right now, and you're slowly stepping forward. And I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, I think I found one. This will have to work. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Yoink. Select. Oh, that's a little small. All right, so I'm going to send you guys a link to this thing.
Okay.
This owl bear thing.
I wonder if it's undead.
I wouldn't be able to see undead because it has no soul. So
Or
I'm not
maybe
sure
it's-
what it is.
Or maybe it's becoming
There's two
one.
of us.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, so I'm going to give you guys some little minis here. I'm going to go ahead and share it. I don't care which minis you pick. You can change them if you want. We're going to put our each of you right here. It's so funny. Of all the maps I had prepared, this wasn't the one because I didn't think about it. All right, so you guys are over here. Y'all can see that. I'm going to share that with the audience. Share screen.
Right click, huh?
Chrome window. Yeah.
I am Fist Man. Or Sword Man.
Sure you are.
I do not care which.
All right. So you see the soul. The soul is appearing right in this area,
Let's see.
but you don't really see anything at all.
It's just a
So,
little dot right here.
yep. So you're gonna, the soul is like right like this. Covers this area right here, right in there. So,
Do I still have my familiar with me?
you do.
He gestures towards the cat with Zorax.
Yeah, just
And so he's going to go into the cat's senses and tells the cat to move up ahead. Like,
Okay.
yeah. I kind of like point out the area. It's like right there.
I don't see your mouse.
Well, what I'm saying is, as I'm saying, like in character, I'm like pointing it out that it's like over here.
Okay.
Over here.
Yeah.
I don't see where you're pointing, but okay.
No,
Over here.
like right here.
Okay, so cat's gonna be right here.
Do I see the soul shift at all?
So as you wander in, immediately, let me look at something here. Here we go. As you step towards this, you instantly feel like you are walking through like thick air, and your body begins to, you find it struggle to move. So I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw, as you step into a giant globule pus of something transparent that you can't see. You have seen creatures like this before.
Dex save for the cat.
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever this is, whatever moved into that square.
That would be the cat.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
It fizzles and melts.
Yeah,
and it is destroyed.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
So
Well,
I have
it serves its purpose.
I want a question here. So because you guys can't, it doesn't move and didn't move, technically you can't see it. So in this situation, would you have preferred I not shown when it was?
Probably not, but I feel like with Garmor sensing the fact that it just died.
Well, you guys would see it just disintegrate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it just basically walked in and just.
I feel like the first thing I'll think of, that's bad. I don't know
wonder
what
if
it is.
I'm debating whether I should have kept it a secret or not. Is the thing, like, should I not have
Probably,
said what
maybe,
it was?
but
I kind
still.
of regret that now. Anyways, so there is this giant. You've seen creatures like this before. You've seen a gelatinous cube. You've heard them. You've never seen one this big. This thing is massive by comparison to some of the other ones. Zorax, what are you going to do? This thing is blocking your path.
Hey, fellas. What do we do about this?
We kill it. Like anything else.
And waste our spells? I don't think so. We should back away from this corridor and head another direction.
Who's anything about wasting spells?
That doesn't matter. I heard talking in another corridor out there.
I think it's time to stretch out the old limbs. All right, Luminaire, we're going to work. It's finally our time.
Yes, Father.
Oh, boy.
I see somebody figured out how to change the token.
It's finally time to whoop some ass.
Well, import anyway.
Yeah, that's all it is just import the token.
I'm just gonna
And then put your own on there.
And
All
I'm
right.
gonna swing at it.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
with my cool little magic sword. The lowest is. Let me check my character sheet again because it's been a second. Is a 20.
Been a hot minute.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
lowest to hit is 20.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. I will roll for
I gotta
damage.
check something
it's
here.
also worth noting with my Eldritch cannons. Let's see here. If you're within 10 feet of me, you have half cover, which means +2 AC.
Whoa. That's very handy.
Does he still get that considering he has full cover?
Oh, that's a great question.
Oh, you haven't actually stepped into it yet. Never mind. You're good. You're fine.
Yeah.
If you get engulfed, I don't. Would he get that?
It just says you and allies within 10 feet.
Yeah, I mean, full cover still would affect that. I would think. You know, what do you think?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
All
I
right.
still consider myself new to
Both
D&D.
attacks hit.
Why,
so
dude? You've
let's
been
see.
playing for like years.
Like 4 years. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I have to add my smite damage because both hits hit. Oh boy. My favorite part of the game, the math
Smite.
part. The blinding
Smite.
rage of doom and where's my other? I'm just stalling for my other.
Oh, wait a
D8.
second. Ah, never mind.
I need another D8. I should have thought about this, just like the DM.
So, anyways, this program.
Woo! Great damage.
This program allows you to just click a button to scale monsters. How cool is that?
Sounds a lot simpler than a certain other program.
Actually, you can do that in Foundry as well.
Yep.
So damage is I hit it twice with my two-handed weapon. For
I don't think you guys are gonna miss this. The thing has an 8 AC, just so you know. So
gotcha.
I don't even know can you miss
16 plus 32 slashing damage. 32. Am I reading that right? Yeah. Okay. 32 slashing damage.
Welcome to level 15.
Yeah, I forgot that I'm strong. And 13 radiant damage. Because I'm a paladin with improved smite.
All right.
So I can just
So
smack it in the
you
head.
come in, you draw Lumine. Your blade glows a glistening, radiant. Is it white or black? I forget.
Well, it's currently a black
Neutral.
radiance from me, so
All right,
it's
so
just
you
like
have
a
this
dark
negative light glowing as you slice through this, and you feel resistance as you cut through it, but it's like cutting through jello. And the wound, you can't see any wound of any kind because all you see is you swinging at air
yeah.
as you cut through it. But you can feel it, and you see the light distort as it cuts into it, and the whole thing kind of trembles a little bit, and jiggles a little bit, but doesn't react very much.
As I just like rip the sword back, I'm like, ugh. Just ugh.
Anything
I've
else?
cut down demons that were more pleasant than this.
Well, the worst thing about this is you can't tell if you're hurting it or not. That's the worst thing I think about a gelatinous cube, because it doesn't bleed. It doesn't. It's pretty much invisible when it's not moving.
Yeah.
So it just is kind of a distortion in the air.
And as I pull the sword back up, I'm like, all right. I think I heard it.
All right.
Whoever's next. You can't miss.
It kind of just jiggles a little bit, almost in reaction to your attitude.
It's just like,
What are you going to do, Garmore?
So I should have done this earlier, but he is going to cast for the first time in a long time. He's going to cast Fairy Fire where Zorax stands. So I need the cube and Zorax to give me a dexterity saving throw, DC 18.
DC 18.
I passed. Hell yeah. Let's go.
did not.
So each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in a green light. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in the light if it fails the dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed a dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
I like
So now
that.
I can see the true size of this thing, and I'm
Yes,
realizing
it's
it's a
massive.
lot bigger than I thought
And
it was.
it fills the entire corridor.
Oh.
It was at this moment that Gummer realized he effed up.
I'm just Zorak's just standing right here like, huh. Bigger than I imagined. The soul in this thing does not match the proportional size of what I'm seeing.
You think?
Well, I thought it was about the size of a person. This is about the size of the entire... it's the whole thing.
I mean, we've been a big person before, so...
And that's the end of Garmor's turn.
Well,
But hey, you guys can see it now. I could kind of see it, but I was kind of wrong in how big it was.
Right. All right. So, Garmor, you release this just glittering, energy that just kind of causes it to look like you coated it in candy sugar. It is very visible now. The size is a little bit overwhelming. What are you going to do, Merl?
Well, first off, I'm going to hit it with Firebolt.
Okay.
And with advantage.
Does it sound like a gun being fired?
Okay. All right. Well, this is pathetic. Even with advantage, I rolled a 15, which still hits it at least.
It's true. It's an
Yep.
8, I believe, right?
Yeah.
I literally can't miss on this thing.
For
Yeah.
20 fire damage.
Ouch. Brutal.
20. We'll just...
And I'm guessing it's still up.
Yeah.
All right. Bonus actions. First, Eldritch Cannon.
First. You have more than one as a bonus action?
Yes, two now.
Yeah, he has 2 little spider guns.
Yep. So that's going to be a 27 to hit.
Yep.
For 14 force damage. That's not back 5 feet.
Oh.
Oh, that's going to be useful.
Andrew!
And second, blast. Yeah. And for a mere 11 damage and knock back 5 more feet. That's my turn.
That's brutal.
I'm pretty sure he left the fairy fire now.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. He's gonna walk right into it. So you pull out your arcane blasters and send massive bolts of energy slamming into this gelatinous cube as it slams it back several times. It skitters across, knocking it out of the fairy fire, and the object virtually disappears from your vision.
Yep. Told you I didn't need spell slots.
You wouldn't be able to see it if it weren't for mine.
And then it wanders right back in like a stupid thing, and engulfs our poor little Zorax. This thing
It's
just
as big as a
kind of-
tunnel. How can I even miss?
Right. Well, yeah, all he's got to do is move, right? As it engulfs you, your armor, your weapons, your flesh begins to sear. The pain rushes through your body as you're completely soaked. Your eyes are burning. I need you to... Oh. Well, that's brutal.
What?
I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
Okay.
Austin.
Dexterity.
You got to beat an 18.
Let me check just to be absolutely sure. 19.
So you can you are actually pushed several
I'm
or
pushed, you
5
said?
feet. Yeah, it's basically as it's coming on you, you kind of jump out at it,
Like I ripped myself away kind of
Yeah.
thing?
and then it's going to it's going to use the dash action.
Oh,
This is a lot more problematic all of a sudden.
I'm gonna need dexterity saving throws from everybody now,
You
as
all
the
get
giant thing
+5.
kind of just bubbles and slithers across the ground, making a noise.
Very unfortunate. 17, which means I failed.
Oh no!
natural 20.
28.
All right, so the two of you can push your characters back a little bit. Why
I'm in it.
Why is
Yay.
it 4 characters?
I don't know. There was a
Which one's-
cat.
Oh, maybe that's it. There we go. Let's get rid of it. All right, so the two of you succeed, but unfortunately, did I move that too far? I forgot where it was at. There you go. Yeah.
can just
It
do that.
unfortunately does snag our boy this time, as you are engulfed. The pain rushes through your body, the searing of your flesh. You take 38 points of acid damage. You are
Oh.
restrained. You can't breathe.
Hmm.
And then you also take more damage at the start of the creature's next turn, the start of the cube's next turn.
Ah.
You can try to escape, or somebody can try to help you out. You basically are flailing in this thing. This gooey thing has poor Zorax, and all you hear is, "Father, I feel really funny," as it's sizzling on your blade.
Hmm.
And what are you going to do, Zorax?
Well, does
Yes, sir.
Misty Step require verbal components? Let's look
believe
that
it
up,
does.
everybody.
I don't know.
Well, I do know one thing. You're inside it. You can't miss.
But he is restrained.
It does.
It does require
verbal component.
Does restrained mean I can't say anything? I guess.
Well,
that's
you can't breathe, so that I would say that means you can't talk because you're suffocating.
Well,
He
you can
has-
try and speak underwater. That doesn't mean you can't breathe.
Well, it says you can't breathe.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, like, if you're underwater, you can still talk. You just can't breathe in the water.
Well,
and your
that's true,
attack
but-
rolls are at disadvantage.
Yeah, but typically a verbal component requires a specific sound, I think.
That's fine.
But as far as the restrained condition, that comes with its own problems.
Yeah, it's a whole host of issues.
Yeah, you your speed is 0. Rolls against you have advantage. Your attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage, and the creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Oh, so I have disadvantage on trying to get out, don't I?
No, you have
no.
disadvantage for attack rolls.
Just attack rolls. It doesn't affect your ability checks,
Okay.
as far as I can tell.
Doesn't
This
appear
thing
to be.
is you're flailing about underneath this thing.
What about Thunderstep? Does Thunderstep require?
Oh no! Now he's got to go looking through all these spells. And say, how can I get out of here?
Oh, that's also
Thunderstep's a
verbal.
good one.
All right. So
I bet you it's the same word.
probably. Which is fuck. Then just
mean,
poof.
You can try to get out. You can use your action to try to make a strength check to climb out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Require a DC 18 strength check.
Strength is one of my more prominent things, I presume. Oh yeah.
What
You're
does
a
everyone
paladin.
think of my adult gelatinous cube?
It's big.
It's big.
Ah, fuck! I
That's
failed.
what you said. Oh,
Rolled a
no.
goddamn 3. This sucks.
Total?
Well, no, not total. I have a +10, but I
You're
rolled
really
a 3.
you're really gonna hate this. So, doing so that requires to escape requires a successful DC 18 strength check, and the creature making the attempt takes 38 acid damage.
38.
Well, it's 11d6, but the average is 38.
Oh,
I
okay.
can roll it if you'd like.
We'll just take the 38, huh?
Yeah.
Hey guys,
As
I'm
you're
gonna
trying to crawl
I'm gonna
yourself
go
in
down
and out,
next turn.
you can't breathe. You're trying to swim through jello to clamor to get out. It's brutal. Anything else from Anything from Zorax? I mean, that's your action. You still have a bonus.
I'm thinking, man.
Your movement's 0, so you can't.
Can't
do
just
that.
move out, yeah. Damn. 38, huh? Oh no, I have one more turn. Let's go! Yeah! Alright, well. I wish you the best, fellas. It's pain time. I'm burning and I'm not doing
Comes the
well.
pain train. Woo woo!
Yeah, I'm literally sizzling. It's your
Oh, my
guys'
goodness.
turn.
All right, you're up, Garmore. Your buddy, you just look over, and Zorax is engulfed in this thing as this near purple sparkling thing has just dashed towards you. You and Merl were able to leap out of the way, but unfortunately your pal was caught in it, and you can just see his armor and his flesh searing inside as he's struggling to get out. What are you gonna do?
How rough is it looking?
Well, let's take a check here. I took 38 twice. What do you think I'm doing?
I was referring to the cube.
When the cube's not moving, it's transparent, so you can't. There's no indicator of the condition of this creature,
Aside from the fairy fire,
except for the fairy fire, and you don't see any like wounds or anything. They don't bleed. It's like cutting jello.
Correct.
Okay. So he rolls his eyes, looks to Merl. I think we're gonna have to go big on this one, and he is going to manifest all the essence of dark mana in the nearby area of the maze, and he is going to cast Blight at 4th level. I need the cube to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save with a +7. We can do that.
This is brutal.
That is a 19.
Yep.
Yep.
Constitution save.
So it takes half damage, but
Which is how much?
I'm about to roll that actually on D&D Beyond. Holy crow! That is
Crit Academy
29
and
full.
Planeshifters is not sponsored by D&D Beyond, but if you guys decide that you are looking to sponsor us, we will accept it.
Okay, so that was 29 full. So half would be
14.
what again?
14.
14.
Always
Dang
take the
it.
lower number.
So as you do you want to describe how your blight looks?
So as I stated before, he connects with the black mana of the area and then focus it into the palm of his hand via his druidic focus, and he shoots it in the form of like a black lightning at
Real
the
lightning.
cube itself.
That's awesome. You see it kind of just splatter into it and streak through the whole thing, bouncing around, and it kind of, jiggles a little bit, and you see your buddy flailing on the inside.
He finishes his turn as he looks at Merl. We need to bring out the big guns this time if we are to save him.
I got 3 of them.
All right, Merl, what do you do? Your
All right,
buddy
first
is
off,
flailing inside. His armor and flesh is melting before
Arcane
your
turret.
eyes. Arcane
Number 1.
turret.
All right, that's going to be more than enough to hit for 13 force damage, knock back 5 feet.
So now here's the question. Since the person's engulfed, no.
That he was gonna come with?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because he's not grappled.
He's restrained.
Yeah, okay, I would say he would move with him then. But hey, it's farther away for you guys.
Second arcane turret. 5 more feet and 15 force damage.
Oh, snap. Andrew, you are a genius. So
No, don't give the DM ideas.
I was asking him about what he thought about gelatinous cubes, and he goes, I wonder if you give it a slanted shoot like Indiana Jones boulder, and it just slides and mows everything over. That would be awesome. All right,
Anyway.
how much damage?
15 force and knock back 5 more feet.
So as it's blasted back, you do see a small chunk of it kind of come flying off. And the only evidence that you saw of this is that it's coated in this sparkly fairy fire.
Okay.
I
And
told you to use the big guns.
it's on my to-do list.
I think he's
As
just
I
trying
guess
to keep it from,
fireball.
I was gonna say, I think he's just trying to keep himself from being swallowed. Go ahead, give me where are you targeting the fireball?
Ish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
It won't hit your boy here.
Which is what I was going for. All right. Cast the fireball. I said roll it. Thank you. That's better. For a 27 fire damage. If it fails, it's the save of 18. Dexterity.
Its dexterity is a -2, so it's probably going to fail.
It turned
Yep,
needs to roll
it
that
did.
20 then.
Huh?
It basically needs a net 20 to succeed then.
Yeah.
So I said it probably fail. So he's gonna take that full damage. So you pull out your gun and you release a massive flaming energy blast that just on contact of the ground just behind him bursts in an explosion of pure fire. Fire fills up the whole area, and this is the first time you really get a really good solid look at this creature. Between that, the fire and the fairy fire and the fireball, you can see that this gelatinous cube has little bitty slices in it. It's got a chunk missing, and it's got part of it is been blasted off once again. You instantly can tell that it wobbles a little bit, and looks like it might be trembling, but you're not sure.
All right, and I hover back. Are we at the mouth of the tunnel?
Yes. So right here, outside of here,
Yeah.
is no ground.
Okay, I hover back 10 feet.
Good call. All right. Anything else?
No.
The thing's going to move forward and engulf both of you, I guess.
I'm not there.
I know you're
Well,
not.
but I'm
talking
in
about
there, and now it's Garmore's turn to get gooped.
But at the beginning of its turn, whoever's already in it takes 11d6 or 38 damage. I think I'm going to roll because I feel like 38 is kind of hurting you, but then it might actually kill you.
I mean,
Not
we'll
kill
see.
kill.
11d6, so let's do this. 1, 2,
11d6.
3, 4,
Watch him roll
5,
60.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, that's pretty close. 35.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't change much. It goes from 1 HP to 4 HP. I was going to survive with 1 HP, but now I have 4 HP.
Yeah, we
Let's
got
go.
moving on up in the world, man.
Yeah,
The
it's
searing
gonna
is
hurt like
burning.
hell in a second.
The searing flesh is just rough on you. Your armor is much of your.
Oh,
light
I need to make my
underclothing.
save.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Well, I haven't got that far yet, but yes, go ahead.
Do I?
I was taking care of his damage first.
Do I add Zorax's?
Yes, you do.
No, well, see, you are. Well, you're in there with him, Mike. No, because he's not technically in there till he fails. So I'm gonna say the
It's-
full cover
It's 20 feet.
but you have
Oh, I'm
cover.
inside it,
Does
therefore
does
it has cover.
Yes.
Got it.
It specifically says you have total cover while you're inside of it.
Got it.
So I'm
nope.
gonna say
yep.
that
I
doesn't
do not. You
doesn't
don't
work
get it
through
then. Yep.
Okay. So dexterity.
Mhm.
Yep. That's rough.
It is 18.
13. I am enveloped.
You are enveloped and you are to take damage.
Son
Is
of
there a
a.
way to reroll all this? Reroll dice. There we go. 42 points of acid damage
What
as
the
your
heck?
flesh begins to sear. Your hair is melting. Your eyes are like you can't. You're all blurry through them. You can't see through them. It's very difficult to see what's going on as you are now suffocating. And you're restrained and engulfed, and what a pain in the butt this is. Top of the turn is Zorax.
Okay, so if I move, I die. Right? Essentially.
Well, you're restrained. Yeah, if you try to break free, yeah.
If I fail, I
if
die?
you fail, yes.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Let me read. Let's read this out loud. A creature within 5 feet or within the cube can attempt to free itself. Doing so requires a DC 18 strength check, and the creature making the attempt takes 11d6 acid damage.
So just making the
Ouch.
attempt will end me. Okay. So then that means the only thing on my
Don't you
to-do
have
list.
a power that just teleports people that's not a spell?
Me and another person.
Well, switch places with Merl. He's got plenty of hit points.
Hey!
Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Like, do I really not have anything to? Me not being able to speak is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Channel divinities. I don't remember which ones you have for that.
I can make it turn, presuming I don't die immediately because it's some otherworldly creature.
You can turn it, but
But it'll just keep me in it.
that's also true.
So
I think your best option is to switch with Merl.
I'm just gonna heal up.
Or you can just land hands.
You can do that too.
I have 75 points to lay on hands, and I'm about to just dump on me right now.
You know, to touch yourself to success.
There you go again with that.
I can't help it. Whoever thought it was called to name it "Lay on Hands" deserves it.
I have what? Yeah. Well, first I'm gonna do that. So I now have 79 hit points, which is all 75 of the hit points that I had.
Dude,
That's my
Andrew,
action.
Andrew has the perfect variant idea in chat here. He says a gelatinous cube that has a different color on every side, and each color you get sucked into determines the type of damage you take.
Absorb elements doesn't work on acid, does it? That's
Yeah,
it does?
I think it does.
I thought it was just lightning, fire, absorb.
Element. What is it? Absorb
Absorb
elements.
elements.
Yeah, acid.
Oh, it does work on acid. Okay, I could survive a lot longer all of a sudden. That helps. All right. We're still kicking. We got tiny bit. I'm gonna cast a spectral weapon. Wait, does that require me being able to speak? That's another thing. Do either of these require? No. Okay, that one does not. All right, let's go to spectral.
I was gonna say absorb elements doesn't have a verbal. I know.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Somatic, I think.
Spiritual does. Okay. Or spiritual weapon. Spectral weapon?
I think it's spiritual.
I think it's spiritual. I don't know why I wrote down spectral, but
It doesn't really matter though.
I don't know.
it means the same thing. Yeah, I'm just stuck. Because I didn't bother using. I used my action to heal myself.
Oh
So
no!
But they kept you from dying.
that's true. So
What is
there
it?
we go.
Nothing. I'm not gonna change it.
It's the next person's turn.
Garmor, your buddy is melting. You are now in flailing with him. Your flesh is burning. This near invisible creature is melting you alive. What are you gonna do?
He feels the searing, burning pain. It's not like being burned by fire as what happened to him in his tragic story. And he channels that flame, and his eyes begin to burst into fire. And then all of a sudden, and I'm sorry for this, Zorax, but this is bound to happen sometime. And he wild shapes into a fire elemental.
I mean, this is the second time you set me on fire, so, you know.
You did that yourself the first time.
I did not! I was flung into a tree! That you set on fire!
And how did you put yourself in that position? You did that position. You put yourself in that position to be thrown. Therefore, that's on you for being caught on fire.
So, I'm pretty sure you just gaslit me right there.
Anyway.
But
That's a large creature, right?
Yeah.
It is a large elemental.
Okay. You're
So-
still inside this thing.
Yes, except I may be inside, but I am immune to the condition known as restrained.
Okay, then.
So he can just leave.
So, fire form. A creature that touches the elemental or hits it with a melee attack within 5 feet of it takes 5 points of fire damage.
That's cool.
The first time it enters the creature space on a turn, the creature takes an additional fire damage and catches fire. And he is going to do his multi-attack, and because he's not restrained, he does not have disadvantage.
Okay.
So 2 attacks. What is that? 21 and 13 to hit.
Yes.
So 2d6 plus 3 times. So damage on the first attack, that is 8 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
With a touch, if the target is a creature or a flammable object, it ignites. Until it takes an action to douse the fire, it takes an additional 5 points of fire damage at the start of each of its turns.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you set me on fire.
Yeah.
When I touch you, dude.
Yeah.
Not to
So
mention
maybe it
you
wasn't
healed
a tree.
yourself,
Maybe I just
remember?
hit you.
Oh, I made him disappear. Hang on.
And
What's going on there?
for the damage on the second attack,
Oh.
that is 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
And he is going to move around. He has a movement speed of 50.
So
So
is
he's
that
going
your, is that your turn?
Oh, well, that was my bonus action and my action.
Hang on a second. How much damage was that last attack?
9 points of fire damage.
All right, how's it end?
Oh,
Thank goodness. I
so
get to live another day.
his eyes
Hardly.
burst into flame before he transforms into a fire elemental. He takes 2 swings from the inside, as away from Zorax, and his last punch and his last touch of flame pierces through the gelatinous cube from the inside, and whatever that makes it a sub-solid state just completely melts into a liquid.
Nice.
And then at the at the most, as soon as possible as he can get, he's going to revert form.
I envision Merl taking pot shots at little chunks of the dang thing.
Motherfucker.
All right, how banged up is he?
Oh, he's doing okay now that he healed himself, I think, right?
I'm saying I'm at a good 50%. I was fucked up pretty good by this
Did
thing.
Merl take any
Dude.
damage?
Nope.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
just you two did.
So
I would just like to take a moment.
No,
So
it's
let's-
about a good like 70%.
There was a moment where I realized that while you're engulfed, the damage you take is doubled what it normally is. So if I had
Oh.
did that at the start of the turn, it's doubled. So, and I'm like, I saw that halfway through. I was like, I'm not changing that. I was like, is I gonna die? I
Yeah.
didn't realize that.
Okay,
So-
so Austin, how far down are you?
On a good old scale of 126 and 0, I'm at a good 79.
All right, I'll hit you
Man,
with 4 cure
brutal.
wounds then.
4?
Yep. 9, 21, 31,
Damn.
and 43.
43 total?
Yep.
That is a fuckload. Thank you. I am almost back to good as new. I cannot believe it. I thought for sure I was getting fucked up, and I came
thought
out
you
better than I thought I would be after all of that. Thank
There
you
is a-
for the cure wounds.
There's a reason why I put cure wounds in my spell storing item, which I can use 10 times.
Oh my god, that's really useful.
So what
At this
is,
point-
Yep, go ahead.
So Garmor is going to cast his second third level spell slot to cast Aura of Vitality on himself.
Okay.
And until the spell ends, which is a duration of 1 minute, healing energy radiates from me in an aura with a 30-foot radius. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with me, centered on me. I can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura, including myself, to regain 2d6 hit points.
Okay.
So he's going to heal Zorax first.
That'll probably do the rest of the way. I mean, I'm at a very good number now.
That is 9 points restored.
I'm full HP now. Let's go.
And I would like to do this 9 more times on myself.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
All right.
good.
So, are you guys taking a short rest or anything, or?
I'm good.
I mean,
I
I guess
guess
not
you-
anymore. I was going to, but
Well, it takes a long rest for me to restore my wild shape.
I'm doing pretty good now.
And you already burned both of them, right?
I burned all 3 of them, yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Um,
let's scope out
I-
the Phoenix first before we actively say we can take a long rest here.
well, I'm
that's
going
the
to
thing.
heal up anyway.
Well, at the very least, I can keep going, so I'll be from the short rest, but I can't speak for you two on that one.
I'm good. I'm raring to go again. I can't believe I can say that. I thought for sure, I was like, well, that's going to go a bunch of resources down the drain for me. But nope, you guys put me right back to the top, baby.
And I'm back up to full, too.
There we go.
Yeah. And while your guys are kind of in this area making a,
A ruckus.
yeah, go ahead and give me perception checks, please.
He's going to use guidance on himself. Are
I
you kidding me?
didn't
21.
see shit. I got a 5.
I got a 14 with a natural 2.
All right, Merl. As everyone's kind of recouping and taking a moment, you look up and see a strange and familiar distortion. And I think that's where we're going to end as another gelatinous cube engulfs.
Engulfs
our buddy. You.
me?
The gelatinous
Death from
hallway
above.
has you. And I think that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Gelatinous hallway is
Come
the
on!
worst concept I've ever had to deal with in my life.
We can't even made a run for it, you guys. Come on!
I really expected you to run for it. So as you guys were going, I was just inching it. Anybody in the stream could see me just slowly inching it every few minutes while you guys were casting a spell that takes a minute and having discussions and stuff. I was like, a minute, this thing can get over there. Because it started
We
it started way
from
over
the
here.
tunnel.
So that's where we're gonna end for tonight. Hopefully, those of you guys watching had a good time. We are closing in near the closing into the Phoenix, the Arclight Phoenix to gather their conduit. But of course, they got to make it through the treacherous labyrinth, which comes in all varieties, whether it's an ooze or a gelatinous cube, whatever the shape or form the terror takes. They are bound to have a lot of fun. Even me, I'm just kidding about the extra gelatinous cube. I just thought that would be funny to have another one. So I think this is a good ending point for you guys.
So is there okay? So does that mean there's actually another cube? Okay,
No,
okay.
not. It's just me being a douche, and I thought
Are
it'd
you
be funny.
serious?
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. I was laughing. I was like, God damn! There's a fucking second one.
When I was moving it in my mind, I was going, did it, like a 10-year-old. Oh my god. Anyways, yes.
So you were joking.
Yeah. I was just
He was joking.
I just
Screw
thought it
you,
was funny.
Justin.
Yeah, I'm a douche. All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Normally I don't do the combat grids, but I was like, man, this is gonna be kind of tough without it. But I was like, the thing doesn't move. Do I really need it? But I'm glad I did get it though. I think it made it a little easier. So this is episode 16 of Planeshifters. I'm hoping to have this campaign finished by before 20. So we'll see how that goes.
Oof.
It did get pushed back a little bit with Will's absence, but hopefully he doesn't miss too much.
Right.
So we'll count this as day one travel through the labyrinth. As I mentioned, it'll take 3 or 4 days approximately to reach the center of the labyrinth. So kind of give you an idea of where you're going and how it's going. Do expect this to be a little bit more of a dungeon crawl than some, along with some skill
I do
challenges.
recall you
and stuff,
saying that. I feel like
I did. So be ready for that. All right, that'll be it. Why don't we go around the table, tell us who you are and what you liked about tonight's game. Starting with who went last?
Me.
Matthew.
Yeah, Matt.
Hi, my name is Matthew, the ticked off player who just got debated by the DM.
Debated. Never heard that.
I haven't heard that in a hot minute, but
Or I guess you could say I got
Jabroni.
punked by the DM.
Yes,
that's a good one too.
That's a good one. That one I get.
This was not a smart combat decision. I will say this as a player, but he's going to say that next session as Garmore, probably, most likely, probably just so. But yeah, this was interesting. I like the role play argument of deciding which path to go.
Yes, you guys did a great job there. I love
And
that.
I got to outsmart Sorax up words for once.
It's always a winner.
Unfortunately, I had to be an actual idiot because he was an actual idiot right then and there. So I didn't have a lot of wiggle room. But so I tried to sound as smart as I could with what I had.
I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
All right, Austin.
Hi guys, I'm Zorax, the almost no longer Zorax guy.
Wait, it's never been more clean.
Yeah, suddenly I'm like really exfoliated now. I look immaculate aside from the literal sores that are all over my body.
Blisters.
Yeah, and blisters and probably other miscellaneous problems with my skin now.
Andrew, don't be giving the DM ideas. Don't you dare.
But honestly, yeah, the role playing of me being an idiot was probably my favorite part. It was just like I get to just be a dumbass, but because I'm forced to, so it's gonna be great.
I do have a question. What did you think about me giving you the details of what you saw?
I was like really curious. I was like, so for fun fact, because that's a good point. What I thought I was seeing was like the specter of some dead guy, probably. And I was thinking like, oh, it's probably just some like lost adventurer who's probably dead somewhere, and he's just.
No, it's just a
So when I
monster
got
with
close enough and I realized that I couldn't tell that this was someone in the ethereal plane, I was like, oh, this is alarming. This is much
Yeah.
worse, whatever it is. And
funny.
turns out it was a giant fucking flesh devouring cube.
I did have a question regarding that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we have seen something? Wouldn't Garmor have seen something with his dark vision?
Nope.
You-
It
it
was
said-
actually
it-
invisible.
It literally says it cannot be seen if it's not moving
Yes.
at all, and it's not
Oh.
invisibility either. It's just a
It's like
feature of its
Camouflage
physical.
almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very unique feature among the monsters, because I don't think there's any other monster that has that mechanic. That is strictly the gelatinous cube, as far as I know.
I know there's like some creatures that have something similar, but it's called like camouflage. Or something
Camouflage,
like
which
that.
is like
Yeah.
advantage on hide checks and stuff.
But this is like literally you just can't see it,
yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah,
But That's what it
the-
is.
it says verbatim. It says transparent. Even when the cube is in plain sight, it takes a successful DC a 15 for level 2. This was a level CR10 one. Check to spot the cube that has neither moved nor attacked. The creature that tries to enter the cube space while unaware of the cube is surprised by the cube. Surprise, you're engulfed. So, I mean, that transparent power is super potent. That's why it always made me weird that all the cubes are like blue in all the images. But I guess
Yeah, because it's.
you can't show
I guess you have
anything
to make it
invisible.
something, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ian?
Once again, I'm Ian, co-host for Crit Academy. I played Merl Bronson, and I just had fun with Merl flexing his scientific know-how in the very beginning.
Sure
Dude,
did.
it would have been so much worse in that battle if you didn't have that knockback, because I would have had you all right out the gate. So I
Yep.
love that. I love your smart play too.
In hindsight, I should have cast Ray of Frost instead of it's a firebolt. So
Oh, that would have made it so mad. It's only got a movement of like 15. Well, like that's it.
Yeah.
Like not much. Anyways, all right. So I had a blast. I think you guys did a wonderful job, and I look forward to the next game. If you enjoy D&D and you want to join us, I highly recommend you come join us on Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on our YouTube channel. We got some really exciting topics coming up. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about 5 underused monsters in D&D. And then the next episode, we're going to be talking Spelljammer. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I've been digging into a lot of the lore from 2nd edition, and I'm excited to get on that boat. Get on that boat, because they use ship sailing. But never mind. Anyways, hopefully you'll come join us here at the Crit Academy and have a good time, because I know I will. I guess that's all. Peace out. See you guys later.
See you guys.
What did you guys keep saying it should be? It should be anyways, keep your blade sharp and spells prepared, heroes. Better see you Sunday.
Yep.